The prophet of thought. Open your mind, 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 open your mind. Open your mind, 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 open your mind.
Let us open our mind.
I know leadership don't need love don't need retaliation. If we don't stop, if we parade, they celebrate. Eat caviar, drink champagne. If we parade, they celebrate. At the death of a child of a slave.
Open our mind.
Child of a slave. Remember your forefathers' tears, the lives which was lost for us to see peaceful years when shots stop. Moving remains flat. If people parade, they celebrate. Eat caviar, drink champagne. If people parade, they celebrate. At the death of the child of a slave. Proper thought.
Open our mind.
If we don't stop,
Open our mind. Open our mind.
the child of a slave. Proper thought.
Open our mind.
And peace, folks. Welcome back to another edition of the Proper Thought series right here on the old T.P.O.T. YouTube page. I'm your host, X, of course, but you knew that already. That's why your black asses are here. Tonight, got a good one for y'all tonight. The one and only CORY HAYWOOD will be in the house tonight, my brother. You probably familiar with him. Writer, author, columnist, blogger, shit starter. Yeah, my brother be in the house tonight. And also brother Nagone is supposed to be stopping by. Because tonight is kind of a continuation from last night. I don't know if y'all was here last night, but last night we had a moderated discussion. Brother Fantastic was here, and brother M.O.T. and brother Supreme, and also my man AJ was here, and we were talking about this whole contract with America. But before we get started, as always, I have to thank you good folks, because you know y'all the way y'all support this channel, man, with your likes, your shares, your views, your subscriptions, and of course your hard-earned pennies, nickels, dimes, quarters, and 50-cent pieces, because you don't have to do it. God damn it. You don't have to do it, but you choose to do it. You choose to watch these damn videos. You choose to show up to these streams. And of course, I appreciate you dropping your hard-earned coins. As always, I'm humbled, I'm honored, I'm appreciative, man, and I'm thankful to all of you. You know I give you black folks a hard time and talk a lot of shit to you, but I do it because I actually give a damn. And I want y'all to know, man, that I appreciate every single one of y'all out there, man. I do. I don't say it to kiss your black butts, because by now you know I don't kiss no butts. If you've been following me long enough, I say it because I really mean it, man, and I appreciate all you good folks. All right, so let's get at it. I'm waiting for Brother Haywood to come in the house. Y'all know Brother Haywood always shows up late, so I'm not expecting him to rush. He's the one that's always like, oh yeah, but I'm here X, even though he's 45 minutes late. So he probably won't be on immediately. I know Brother Nagone wanted to stop through and talk about this as well. And as y'all can see down on the ticker down below me here, it's Corey Haywood on the Hours of Power. Is Ice Cube a sellout? Is the question we're asking tonight. I don't know if y'all are familiar with the because we went over the contract with Black America last night. But what I'm about to do now is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to share the screen with y'all. And the tenants are read out by my boy, Sir Tice. So it's about 10 minutes long. So, you know, kind of hang in there and listen. But Brother Sir Tice did a good job on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to let y'all listen to Brother Sir Tice. Let me see if I can do this shit right. Y'all know I'm old, so I might fuck it up, you know. But here's Brother Sir Tice, man. Brother Sir Tice, take it away.
Introduction. The official summarized contract. As citizens and lawmakers both, we're joining to demand the contract with Black America be addressed immediately to finally create the more perfect union all Americans deserve. As such, it is time for a complete paradigm shift in how we run our institutions and operate our country. The problems facing Americans are too deep and wide to simply reform one area or another. Long-lasting solutions demand a comprehensive, thorough rethink of America so that each new approach in each area supports the success of the others. This contract with Black America will provide conceptual approaches in several areas. Derek Hamilton, in the preface of the contract, says, "This contract with Black America strikes at the heart of racism and presents a blueprint to achieve racial economic justice. It was written in the backdrop of the killing of George Floyd, which set off a wave of protests not seen since the civil rights era of the 1950s and 60s, and a global pandemic in which the Black mortality rate is more than double the white rate, in which 45%, nearly half, of Black-owned businesses close. That the impact of something presumably random, such as a pandemic, however catastrophic, can be linked to one's racial identity is highly problematic, and further evidence that as a nation we are failing miserably. This links to a larger political and economic vulnerability, whether we're in a pandemic or not. The immoral devaluation of Black lives has been ingrained in America's political economy and is long overdue for a reckoning. This contract with Black America is a patriotic pathway to promote our shared prosperity and achieve racial economic justice. Ambassador Andrew Young is equally supportive. The pandemic has revealed to us the importance of the essential worker, of which many are minorities. We can grow no stronger without improving the sustainability of those at the bottom of the economic pyramid. The Contract for Black America is a comprehensive step toward an action plan that addresses the future stability of minorities and essential workers across the nation. To address racial inequality, after reading the Contract with Black America, we, the undersigned, agree to support and demand an open debate and a clear and fair vote within the first 100 days of the 117th Congress in 2021 on the following proposals to be codified into specific bills. Representation. Bill to guarantee Black opportunity and representation. Adopt a plan of neo-reconstruction to redress past wrongs systematically imposed on Black Americans economically throughout many generations that has resulted in a wealth gap where the average white family has 10 times the wealth of a Black family. In addition to some of the economic initiatives listed below, also formally apologize to Black Americans for past discrimination and slavery. Additionally, Black opportunity and representation will include affirmative action in schools, public and private, per student funding in states on an equal basis instead of paid by local property taxes. Black representations in all government civil rights bodies, civil rights classes mandatory in elementary schools, gerrymandering reform, additional polling places in Black and minority neighborhoods, Juneteenth to become a federal holiday. Lending reform. Bank lending reform. Bank lending will be regulated to require banks to lend a percentage of all loan and credit categories on an equal basis to the Black population each bank serves. However, the minimum threshold must yearly meet the percentage equal to the national Black population, currently approximately 13.4%. Rates on Black loans federally and from banks to be the same average rates as whites. Federal funding of baby bonds. Pass federal program providing every child with government-funded trust account at birth starting with a $1,000 contribution. As proposed by Senator Booker and Representative Presley, accounts to be managed by the Treasury and only those born into lower wealth families will receive more contributions each year, up to $46,500 total. At age 18, access to the funds allowed but use restricted to assets enhancing actions such as buying homes, starting businesses, and funding education. Federal Reserve and government pensions. For qualified Black Americans, Federal Reserve to allow a one-time interest-free loan for home ownership. The Fed to ensure banks and institutions it oversees comply with bank lending reform. Fed to adopt modern monetary theory with a goal of full employment and avoidance of actual inflation. Federal and state pension funds control over $1 trillion. They must allocate 13.4% of their investments into Black-owned enterprises and businesses. Venture capital and private equity funds that take money public entities must invest 13.4% of their total funds in Black-owned businesses. Finance oversight. A banking commission, or even cabinet or sub-cabinet posts, will be set up to overlook and report on Black and minority lending, housing ownership and mortgages, and enforcement of items 2 and 3 above. Such authority will also oversee and audit federal programs such as Economic Opportunity Zones and Community Reinvestment Act, CRA, to determine who is benefiting from disbursement of such funds. Will provide for a transparent reporting mechanism for abuses to economic programs designed to benefit communities in need. Personal data and credit. Most states publicly release bulk data about arrestees unchecked. Like the 1970 Fair Credit Reporting Act regarding credit data, there must be guidelines regarding arrest records that allow similar privacy and accuracy protections and the right to dispute and correct inaccurate data. Credit services will be reformed to mandate considerations of individual consumer data on rent, utility, cell phone, and other like bill payments. Prison reform. Privately run prisons will be abolished. Prison labor disallowed without consent, and nonviolent offenders incarcerated for 10 years or longer will be freed if good behavior standards met. All prisoners for marijuana possession freed. First offense for illegal drug use or possession to require government payment for entry into an approved drug rehabilitation program rather than imprisonment. Once any prisoner completes sentence, voting rights are restored. Judicial reforms. Eliminate mandatory minimums and three-strike laws. The Civil Rights Division of the Department of Justice reform through stricter guidelines and greater oversight over police departments. The DOJ can be sued for noncompliance. Lynching to become a federal hate crime, and the Ku Klux Klan declared a terrorist organization. Police Reform Act. Police reforms will be implemented in an expansive act that will, at minimum, include elimination of qualified immunity, requirement of mandatory malpractice insurance for police officers, make municipalities liable for unconstitutional actions by police, mandatory use of dash cams and body cams, elimination of chokeholds and no-knock warrants, establishment of residency requirements, de-escalation training and requirements to update training, severe penalties for evidence tampering, including withholding DNA, a federal database of police and disciplinary records established and made public, and once fired for cause cannot be rehired. Creation of Office of Independent Prosecutors to solely focus on prosecuting police accused of wrongdoing. Other details as listed in greater detail in the contract with Black America. FCC licensing of public airwaves. Broadcast networks will be required to air Black-produced content equal to 20% of the total content on the network as measured by time. Confederate monuments and institutions. Elimination of all Confederate statues and uses or displays of Confederate flags on government grounds or properties with public access. Rename all streets, schools, public structures, etc., named after Confederate soldiers or leaders. A memorial will be built in Washington, D.C. to victims of police excessive force. AJP program for education and jobs. Adoption of AJP, a public-private program that provides access to jobs and education and/or training for people willing to put in the work and commitment. Black responsibility. Chronic poverty creates an atmosphere full of negativity, frustration, hopelessness, depression, alcoholism, drug abuse, crime, and violence. These are some of the conditions that plague the Black community, which is dealing with extreme generational poverty. As we begin to gain social and economic equality, it is our duty to clean up ourselves and our community. This contract is a two-way street. As we gain social and economic equality, we must begin to dissolve any bitterness in our hearts for past wrongs. We must become better citizens who are more productive on all levels of American society. We must step up after we pass the contract with Black America with no more excuses left in the kitty. Our entertainers should be persuaded to deliver more positive content that leads our youth to make better choices in life. A new pride must develop with these new opportunities, and we must fight against negativity, frustration, hopelessness, depression, alcoholism, drug abuse, crime, and violence.
All right. That was read by my man, Sire Tice. Get on down and check Brother Sire Tice out. Actually, Brother Sire Tice is actually going to be on here soon because he is going to have a series on the T.P.O.T YouTube page. My boy Sire Tice, I appreciate that, good brother. I appreciate that. Right now, folks, because I know we went through this last night, but we were like breaking it down point by point. So I just wanted to let y'all go ahead, have an opportunity to read it and hear it without interruptions. I wanted y'all to be able to read it and hear it without interruptions. And like I said last night, y'all can go ahead, man, and, come to your own conclusions about, the quote unquote contract with Black America. So you just don't have to rely on what we saying or what anybody else is saying. Come to your own conclusions, man. Play this back, listen to it, if you miss some parts. And like I said, come to your own conclusions, man, of what you think of it. All right. All right. So, I don't know where the hell Brother Haywood is, late as always. So, in the meantime, what I'm going to do is go ahead and hit y'all in the head with some of these programming notes, because we got a heavy lineup. We got a heavy lineup this week, y'all. I'm trying to pump them out for you, man. I'm trying to pump them out. Tomorrow, J.I. will be here, and he'll be squaring off. We got a Friday night throwdown. Brother J.I. is squaring off with Lady Bap, and y'all already know what that's about, the infamous petition that Brother J.I. is the architect of. He has been challenged by Lady Bap, and that's going down tomorrow, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on the T.P.O.T YouTube page. You freaking know. Then Saturday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, Brother Obsidian returns. It's Obsidian versus the world. Y'all know how it is with that. The old Obsidian will be here, taking on all comers, up to 4 folks at one time. Remember, those of you who want to challenge Brother Obsidian, remember the stringent rules are in effect. Y'all know the Obsidian versus the world debate rules are a lot more strict than regular nights. So just keep that in mind if you plan on coming up here and challenging Brother Obsidian. And that's going down, like I said, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on the T.P.O.T YouTube page. Then we're going to take a couple of days of a break because we're going to need it. Then Tuesday night, November 3rd, we're going to be covering the 2020 election. I'm going to have a few brothers come through. They're going to be giving commentary. Like I said the other night, we're going to be doing updates as the election results come in. We're going to have a ticker running across and all that. Hopefully, I can get the brothers to share their screens. And also, I want you good folks involved as well. Anybody who wants to come in and talk about the politics that's going on in their particular neck of the woods, because I want to know about that too. The senators, the governors, the mayors, the congress people, who's ever running in your neck of the woods, we want to know about it. Feel free to share that information as well, because it's going to be a political night. It's going to be all things politics, and we're going to be covering the election. And I got a few familiar faces coming through. So make sure you hear election night, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Well, actually, we're going to throw down at 9. My bad. 9 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on the T.P.O.T YouTube page. A special 2020 election show on Tuesday night. It goes down right here. Make sure you come through, man. Make sure you come through. All right. All right. So I don't know what the hell happened to Brother Haywood. I might have to hit that phone. I might just have to hit that phone, because he knew we was throwing down tonight. I don't know what the hell happened to him. Probably goddamn sleeping. Probably sleeping. Let me see. Let me see what's going on here. I might have to call his ass. I might just have to call him. Hey, what's good, Brother Charles Merchant? I see you up there, brother. Yeah, I'm sitting here waiting for this dude, man, to show up, man. As always, y'all know freaking Brother Haywood always show up goddamn late. I was hoping he would only show up like 20 minutes late tonight instead of the usual 45 minutes. But of course, he hasn't shown the hell up. So we might have to flip and go do something else. Because, you know, I will flip over and do something else. I think what I'm about to do now is call his ass. That's what I'm about to do. Yeah, time for me to hit that phone. Time for me to hit that phone. Time for me to hit that phone. Let me see. See if I can call him from here. And of course, he's not answering. He ain't answering, y'all. And of course, he's not answering. Unreal, man. I see my brother Art up there. What's good with it, brother Art? Send my man Art the damn link. I'm gonna do that. Bring my brother up here if he's still out there. You still out there, brother Art? Let's send my brother the link. All right, good. Link coming your way, brother Art. If you're still out there. I don't know what the hell happened to damn Corey. You always do this shit. Every damn time. We talked about this shit like days ago. He always does this. He bad as Obsidian. Him and goddamn Obsidian, boy. I'm telling you. They either show up 40 minutes late or just not at all. Insanity, man. Insanity. But yeah, being that we are in a political time, you know, and my thing is this, like I always say, I just want y'all to vote, man. I don't care who you vote for. I don't care if you're a Republican, a Democrat, an independent, if you're conservative, liberal, libertarian, whatever. I mean, I just think folks should vote. That's my main thing. I would never tell you who to vote for, who not to vote for. I would never sit up here and tell you that. But I will sit up here and tell you to vote. I will. Why? Because I'm a true believer, and y'all may disagree with this. I'm a true believer that if you don't vote, you can't complain. And if you do complain, you're complaining out of context because, see, you didn't do anything to change anything. You didn't make your voice heard. You didn't make your preference known. Therefore, why do it now? Why do it now? Because guess what? That vote has a louder voice than you being anywhere else talking about your agreements or disagreements with anything, especially when it comes to politics. And not only that, it's not just the presidential race. I mean, that's one thing, man. Of course, you know, you got the presidential race, but I mean, your local stuff, man, you know, I mean, when I went to vote, man, there were four policies on there when it came to housing, infrastructure, sanitation. All of that was on there too. I mean, most of the time, man, when you go to vote, you're not just voting for people and politicians, man. You're voting for certain policies too. You're voting for highway projects. You're voting for housing. You're voting for infrastructure. You understand? You're voting for all these things, man. Like when we went a few days ago to do early voting, because it started here the 19th. And my wife and myself, we went and we voted, right? And there were policies on there. There weren't just people. I mean, and like I said, the commissioner of sanitation was up for re-election, judges, district attorneys, the sheriff. I mean, these are all elected offices, people. They're all elected offices. So, I mean, you got to think about this stuff, because what Donald Trump or Joe Biden does is going to have very little effect on you, man. Whatever they put into place won't affect you for a year, 2 years, 3 years, maybe 4 years. But your mayor can affect your ass tomorrow. Commissioner of sanitation, tomorrow. Sheriff, district attorney, they can have effect on you tomorrow. You understand? Your governor, town clerk, county commissioner. I mean, these people have a direct hand in your life, man. They have a direct hand in your life. And like I said, they can affect you tomorrow. Tomorrow. So if you're not going to get out there and vote, yeah, Brother Rob. Yeah, absolutely. 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 State offices, DA, county clerk, all those people, man, those are elected positions. And you should have some say in it. You should. You should have some say into who goes into those offices, man. Your tax dollars are going to pay them. All right. The judges, you may end up before them. Someone in your family may end up before them. You may have dealings with the county attorney, the district attorney, the sheriff. Someone in your family may have dealings with the county attorney, district attorney, sheriff. I mean, all this shit matters. All of it matters. I mean, we cry about the criminal justice system. And I think the criminal justice system will be a little different if more of us sat on those juries, as opposed to letting other people pass judgment on our brothers. What if some of us were in those juries, listening to that evidence and deciding whether or not a brother was guilty or not? But the only way that's going to happen is if your ass is registered to vote, because that's where they get the jury pool from. Registered voters. I mean, we can't stand on the sideline and complain about the game, man. We got to get in there. We have to get in there. Now, I'm not telling you to become a judge or a cop or a prosecutor, or I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. But you should be part of the processes that you complain about. If you're complaining about a process, don't you think it'd be better? Don't you think you do more good being part of that process as opposed to just standing on the side complaining about said process? Because I say again, I mean, criminal justice is a big thing when it comes to us black folks. And who knows, maybe if more of us sit on those juries, those cops who kill folks and get arrested, maybe more of them will go to jail. Maybe more of them will do time. If more of us were on that jury, looking at that evidence, don't you think? You actually think if one of those cops get indicted, goes to trial, you think he stand a better chance of getting off if it's a bunch of white folks sitting in that jury, as opposed to some of us sitting in that jury? Do you think our brothers will get a fairer shake when they go on trial if some white folks are in that jury? as opposed to us being on that jury. I know it all seems inconsequential, man, but it's not. It's not. And the only way your ass will ever sit on a jury is if you're registered to vote. I say again, that's where they get the jurists from. If you're not registered to vote, you'll never sit on a jury. You won't. You'll never be part of that process. I'm just saying, man. I mean, enough is enough. We can't be complaining about processes, man, that we don't want to take part in. It doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense. We have to get in there, man. We have to get in there. That's the only way we're going to make a difference. Because by now, we have to have figured out that, hey, the world ain't going to change and adapt to us. It's not going to happen. I know that's what a lot of us like to believe. But it's not going to happen, man. It's not going to happen. Shit, we want to see change. We got to be part of it. We can't stand around and watch the change. No. We have to take part in said change if we want it. If we want it. And I'm not talking about the marching and the looting and all that kind of shit, because that doesn't serve any purpose to me. Get out there, march in the street and set cars afire and break into stores and steal televisions and shit like that. What is that doing? That changes nothing. That changes nothing. Nothing ever comes from that. But you get your ass registered to vote and get all the people around you to vote. Because even if your guy loses, at least you can say, hey, I didn't vote for the other guy. If your guy wins, you can say, hey, I helped put him in office. And you'd be right. You can ask more people when you're part of the process. You can't expect things, especially from politicians, when you're not even part of the political process. You can't go in there and cry to your damn mayor and your ass ain't even registered to vote. Why should they even listen to you? Why should they listen to you? You don't even vote. People like you don't make or break whether or not they sit in office. But you get a group of people who actually vote and get them raising hell in there. It matters. It matters. And I think a lot of times, man, we just kind of disregard it. We disregard it. Voting ain't a privilege, man. It's your right. It's a right. And if you're just going to sit back and squander that right, man, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say to you or about you. Don't let people take your right away. And don't just squander your right either. Don't. Because you're going to regret it. I talked about this a while back. And I have a friend, right? He's an older fella, right? And he's in his late 70s. And I sat down and talked to him a couple years ago. And he told me the first time he ever voted was when Barack Obama ran in 2008. And I do the math. And I'm like, damn, at that time you were 68, old fella. You know, because he's like in his late 70s now. So he had lived 68 years and not voted. How many presidential elections is that? How many gubernatorial elections is that? Congressmen and senators and mayoral races, town clerk, county commissioner. How many? How many of those did he let just go by? It took Barack Obama to run for him to register to vote. And he had to be like 68, 69 at the time. And I was really shocked and also disappointed. Not disappointed in the fact that he hadn't voted in all those years. I was disappointed in the fact that he didn't feel the need to vote. But I've heard that from a lot of people. A lot of people said they never voted until Barack Obama ran. And the question is, why? It took him to run for you to get off your ass and go pull that lever, hit that switch, fill out that ballot. You never thought it was important before? Before that? And I bet you a lot of the people who voted for Barack Obama, they probably didn't vote in the last election or the midterms. Probably won't vote this time around either. Well, then again, maybe. Maybe they'll feel inspired because they see Kamala Harris up there with Joe Biden. You know how us black folks is. You know how us black folks are. But I guarantee you, a lot of people who voted for Barack Obama, they didn't vote in 2016. They didn't vote in 2018. They ain't going to vote here in 2020 either. Nope. Nope. And I think that's a shame, man. With all the talks we have about we need to get together. We need unity. We need to do this. We need to align and do all this kind of stuff. How about we all gather up and get together and, what do they say, plan the vote? Why don't we do that? Because that's one thing we all can do collectively. Now, people often say black folks were not a monolith. And I agree, we're not. But I think we should be monolithic when it comes to this voting thing. I think all of us who can do it should do it. We should be monolithic about that. Because if not, why bitch and moan about politics? What for? I say again, you're not doing anything to help change anything. You're not even trying. Just sit in front of your damn computer screen or your television and cry and bitch about who's in office. But meanwhile, the one thing you could have done to participate in this process, you said the hell with it. Can't take you seriously, man. Can't take you seriously. And I say again, I don't care, man, who you vote for, man. I don't care what party you're in, who you identify with. I don't care about any of that shit. I care whether or not you exercise your damn right, though. Especially when we always talking about black folks' rights. How black folks' rights are getting infringed upon. How they're being taken away. But one right that they can't take away from you, you fail to exercise it? That doesn't make any sense to me. Maybe I'm missing something here. And I don't mean to come up here and lecture y'all, because that's not what I do. I talk shit to y'all. I don't lecture y'all. But I'm serious about it, man. I mean, because, you know, this is a political season, man. A lot's on the line. There's a lot of change to come in the days forward. And I think we as black folks, man, we need to be a part of it. I mean, that's just me. That's just what I think. We need to be a part of this thing. No more sitting on the sideline, crying and whining, bitching and complaining. Got to get in the game, man. We got to get in the game. Because this is one game we can get in. This is one game we can get in. And I don't mean just vote every 4 years. You need to get in there and vote in them midterms as well. I say again, those judges, those sheriffs, those congressmen, state house members, mayors, commissioners, district attorneys need to get in there, and because guess what? The more of us that vote, the more attention they're going to pay to those who vote. You know what goes to a politician's head when they find out 50% more people are going to vote this election than last election? That makes them chew their fingernails. Oh, God. Because more people are coming out than normal. So that office may not be guaranteed. Because if you get more of us black folks voting, maybe, just maybe, people will start paying more attention to black folks' issues, to black folks' concerns, to black folks' needs, policies. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't think politicians are going to do too much of anything for black folks to begin with. But if they see that wave of black coming down through there on election day, they're going to take notice of that. They're going to notice. You think they pander to black folks now? Let the black vote increase by 20, 30, 40, 50% of what it is normally. You think they pander now? They start looking at those numbers. They'll be pandering like hell now. They'll be holding some of them town hall meetings in our living rooms. Y'all know how they do those town hall meetings and they be at people's house and shit. They be at some of our houses, sitting on the couch with the legs crossed, having our wives bring them coffee and shit. They'll be in some of our goddamn union halls, sitting in the middle of there, trying to pander. Because they know that black wave coming. You think they pander to us now. What's good, brother Entanglement? What's good with it, brother? Yeah. You think they pander to black folks now. Let that black wave increase about 30%, 40%. They will have to take notice. Because, see, when you get an increase like that, what can it potentially do? It can swing the election. It can make the difference between a win and a loss for them. And guess what? When we come down through there with that black wave, you know what we can do once they ass get elected? We can start calling them. We can start showing up. We can start making demands of them. Be like everybody else. Get a couple of them politicians in our pockets. Let other people talk about, well, you know, the politicians, you know, they always do what the black folks want them to do. I would like that. I would like people to be able to say, you know what? All them politicians, boy, they always do what's in the best interest of the blacks. Because aren't we always talking about how the politicians are always doing what's in the best interest of others? Wouldn't it be nice to hear people say, damn, they're always doing things for the blacks? Right? What's good, brother New? I see you up there, brother. Wouldn't that be nice? Now, mind you, in a perfect world, that could happen. And I think that's what this whole CWBA thing, this contract with Black America, is about. I think it's inching towards that. I think it's kind of inching towards that. But I'll say again, I mean, when you're talking about the federal government, I just don't think black people are going to get much out of that. You're more likely to get something out of local government because all politics are local, right? Or so they say. All politics are local. I think we'll get more out of local politicians than federal politicians. Because federal politicians don't really have to deal with us. Local politicians do. They do. You're more likely to have contact with a local politician anyway. Because many of them are pretty visible. They're at the fairs. They're at the events. They do their little town halls. What's good, brother Terrence? I see you up there, man. They're usually more accessible. You'll have a better chance of getting a meeting with your mayor than you will with the president. You're more likely to get a meeting with the governor than you will the president, the town council, the town mayor. I mean, you're more likely to have contact with these people. I mean, I'm just being honest. You're more likely to have contact with your mayor than you are the president. I mean, you know, if you meet the president, it's usually some special something done happen. You're being recognized for something. You know, it don't have to be all of that, man, to meet with your mayor, town council, town mayor, district attorney, sheriff. Doesn't have to be nothing like that. I mean, I probably can arrange a meeting with the sheriff tomorrow or the district attorney tomorrow, depending on what I wanted to talk about. I probably could get a meeting with them in the next couple of days. And I'm just a regular person. I'm nobody. I'm just a lowly mechanical engineer. I'm no one. But you actually think I could get a damn meeting with the senator here? Huh? You think I could get a meeting with Tom Tillis? Hell no. You think I could get a meeting with Donald Trump? Hell no. I bet you I could get a meeting with the county clerk, though, or the district attorney, or like I said, the mayor, maybe the governor, too. Depending on what I want to talk about and what connections I got. So I think we need to focus on that stuff. You know? Brother Terrence, what's up, man? What's going on, brother? What's good with it? Send me an email, man, and come on up here, man. What's on your mind? You said we got to talk. We got to talk about what? What happened? Don't tell me you went your ass down there to you didn't go. You didn't make that trip again, did you? You didn't do that, did you? Tell me you didn't do it, brother. Tell me you didn't do it. You still out there, brother Terrence? If you are, man, send me an email, man. I send you the link, man. Oh, damn. You went? Man, bring your behind up here, man. We got a wrap. You went back? You ain't spent up all your money, did you? Tell me you didn't do that, brother. You didn't go down there and spend up all your coins, did you? Didn't do that, did you, man? If you did, I'll be really disappointed. Oh, all right. Come on up, man. Oh, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put this link in the chat, something I don't like freaking doing. But I'm telling you, anybody jump up here that I don't want, not only am I going to throw you off of my shit, I'm going to block you out of my chat. We clear? Good. Come on up here, man. What? You going back tomorrow? The hell? What do you mean you going back tomorrow? Going back tomorrow? Do she still got you freaking, oh, there he is. Brother Terrence.
What's going on?
What's good with it? What's good with it, man? You went back?
Yeah.
Y'all
went
still
back twice.
Are y'all still meeting up in the hotel, man?
Nah. I'm actually staying. When I go out there, I stay with her sister.
What? Why?
Yeah, I know.
Wait a minute. Wait a goddamn minute. Hold on. What do you mean when you go there, you're staying with her sister? What do you mean? Why are you staying with her sister?
Because she stays with her sister sometimes, but she don't feel like staying at her mother's house. Because remember, I
Okay.
told you the first time I went out there back in August, she had came back from China. She'd been back from China for like a year.
Okay.
Oh, T.P.O.T. I got some Jews. I'm about to drop something on you. I don't know if you're ready for this.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm going back tomorrow.
Uh-huh.
6.5 hour Greyhound ride. Lord, I hate that bus ride.
Ugh. So, what's gonna happen? Are y'all together, or are you just trying to make it to be a together situation? What's going on here, brother?
Oh, I'm about to tell you. You know why I'm going back down there for the third time?
Oh, well, y'all must already screwed then if you're going back.
Yeah.
Oh,
She
okay.
came and saw me last week.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, at least she's making the trip now, so that's a step in the right direction, brother. That's a step in the right direction.
I'm not sure if you're ready to hear this, what I'm getting ready to say.
Yeah, go ahead, spill it. Pull the trigger.
Take a guess why I'm going back down there.
What, to propose?
Yep.
Oh, Lord. You sure you want to do that, man? How long y'all known each other?
Since the last time we spoke, you and I, back in August.
So y'all have known each other since August.
Yep. August 14th.
And y'all getting ready, and you gonna propose.
Her sister, everybody knows.
Oh, shit. Boy, she must got a cape and motherfucking magic fairy dust coming out of that motherfucker, man. That shit must just spray on you and just cover you, boy, and make you brother. Perfect Black, what's good with it, man? Come on up if you want to. Perfect Black. I'm just kicking it with my man Terrence and trying to figure out why he's trying to marry this girl he only known her 2 months.
I'm gonna wait though. I ain't gonna sit here. I mean, even if I do propose, I mean, I got the ring from Zales and everything. If I do propose,
Jesus, and I know that must have set you back, boy. Man, look, brother. I ain't gonna tell you what to do.
Yeah.
All I want you to do, because you've been fucking with me for a while. All I want you to do, man, is make sure this is what you really want. If it's what you really want, I'll support it, brother. I support it. You know what I'm saying? If this is what you really want, you think she the right one, this the girl, and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. I mean, I support it, brother. I support it.
When I got on the bus, when the bus came, I said, I can't believe I'm getting ready to go do this. And then we had a layover in Charlotte, and I said I can still turn back around. I said, nah, I'm gonna keep going. Then I got nervous.
Go ahead.
Then I got nervous when we saw the Welcome to South Carolina sign, and then her stop was coming up, Greenville. I prayed. I said, God, I hid my money in my socks. I had like $400 in cash on me and my debit card. I kept my debit card and I hid my money in my socks.
Okay. Why?
Just in case something, you know, the New York in me. Just in case something goes sideways.
Just in case some shit happened, huh?
Yeah. So when she told me that she wasn't coming alone, she was coming with her sister. That's when stuff really went. I'm like, oh my God. But the sister was cool. And she did pay for the hotel, because I remember I told you, she said that her card wasn't working to pay for the hotel on Expedia. Everything went through. And then the second time I came out there, she paid for me to stay in $100 a night hotel.
Okay.
The first time was Comfort Inn. That was $60 a night. This time it was $100 a night. And then I stayed with her sister the last couple of times. This time I'm going out there, I'm staying with her sister for 5 days.
Okay.
Everybody keep asking why you always staying with the sister.
Yeah, that's the first thing that came to my mind. Like, you know, why the hell you staying over there? God damn it. But I'll say again, man, if you think, brother, you know, like I said, man, you've been fucking with me a long time, brother. You know, and I'm about black men being happy. I'm about black men, you know, having peace in their life. And if this brings you peace, brother,
Right.
If this brings you happiness, I support it. I mean, that's all I
Now,
can say. If this is what brings you peace, brother.
my pastor told me, because I asked him a question when he did the virtual service, and he was like, dating somebody during COVID is like dating somebody in jail. You don't know what you're going to get when you get out.
Bah. Well, see, that's the thing with that.
Yeah.
Y'all got to be careful with that, because you don't know who she been around. She don't know who you been around. So, you got to be careful with this COVID shit, man. So I don't know, man. When it comes to that shit, man, you got to kind of play that shit by ear, because these days you don't know who has it and who does not. But y'all been together a few times and ain't nobody caught nothing. So I guess both of y'all good.
Right.
Either y'all both good or y'all both asymptomatic. One or the other.
Her sister's a nurse.
Okay.
Like she's a baby nurse, so if something goes sideways, I'm sure she knows something.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
but I mean,
you ready to tie the knot, huh?
This will be my second go around.
Okay.
The first one, the marriage didn't work the first time. She and I got married 3 weeks after knowing each other, and it was crazy.
Okay.
I actually did a show with O'Shea about it.
Oh. Okay.
That's how bad it was.
All right. And you feel like it's gonna be right this time. This time is the right.
It's better.
Okay.
It's better.
Okay.
I paid a couple of bands for the ring.
I'm sure you did. I'm all I'm saying is this. I'll say again, man. If you're sure about this, I will never say nothing to dissuade a man. Whatever brings a black man peace, hey, I'm with it. This brings you peace, brother. I'm with it, man. I'm with it.
We have some issues. I mean, we had to go to counseling one time. We're going to counseling next week.
Okay.
We have some issues because we got into an argument because after the first time I came out there, she had called me when I was at work and told me, "Thank you for the flowers I sent you." That I sent her. And I had this look on my face like, "What flowers? I didn't send you no flowers." And she was like, "How?" I said, "I think I know who it's from." She said, "Who?" I said, "It's from that African brother you used to talk to." And she was like, "Yeah." And I threw them away. My mother knows, And I believe that she's not like other females. I don't want to sound blue pill or nothing, but I feel like she is not the same.
Okay.
In all honesty, but half of me, because I listen. You know who Coach Greg Adams is?
Yes.
I listen to him, and a lot of stuff he say relate to me. But then I'll be like, I don't want to push it out because I listen to the manosphere. I'm red pill, but I don't want to turn blue pill and get married if that means I give up the right to the manosphere. Because I think the only person that's married in the manosphere is Mr. Fantastic, right? And you.
Let me see. Brother Supreme is as well.
Okay.
Also, I believe Trey is.
Okay.
Quite a few brothers. Quite a few.
Okay.
Quite a few.
So would you say the only people that's truly red pill is Angry Man and Angry Man, Obsidian, O'Shea, and Coach? You think they're the only ones who are red pill?
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely
Okay.
not. Absolutely not. I mean, there's a lot of red pill. There's a lot of red pill dudes that are married. I mean, just because you're married doesn't necessarily mean that you're a blue pill guy. I mean, you can be a married guy and still have red pill philosophies. I mean,
right.
You know, just like you can be married and have blue pill philosophies. You can be single, a single dude, and have blue pill philosophies. So I don't think being married necessarily means, you know, you're a blue pill now. No, absolutely not. Because if you was to ask my wife, she would tell you this motherfucker is not blue pill. Yeah, she would tell you that. Yeah, she is. No, him, hell no. That motherfucker ain't nothing blue about that motherfucker. You know, I hate that motherfucker. I'm just in love with him. That's what my wife would tell you. Because when you're like that,
yeah,
you have a tendency to say things, especially when it comes to the women in your life. You know, your wife,
right.
your daughters, and shit like that. I mean, when you're that type of person, you know, you take a hard line with things. You're gonna say things the women in your family don't like. I mean, it happens. I say shit that the women in my family don't like all the time. All right.
Right.
And it's not like I'm doing it deliberately. That's just who the hell I am. You know, I kind of call it the way I see it. So it is what it is. And he just dropped off. My man, Perfect Black in the house. What's good with it, Perfect Black? What's good with you, brother? Oh, there he is. He's back. Oh,
Yeah,
shit,
my
you back?
bad. I dropped off. My bad.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it is what it is, man. You know,
Right.
if you're a guy who has like red pill philosophies, I don't think you're gonna lose it if you get married. Hardly.
Right.
I don't think that's gonna happen. You know, you just have to have a woman that's willing to acclimate to said philosophies. You know, that's the only way it's going to work. You know, if you
Right.
have red pill philosophies and you're with a woman who wants you to have blue pill philosophies, it's probably not going to work, and vice versa. You know, and vice versa. So, you know, if she's willing to accept you for who you are, hey,
Right.
that's a magnificent thing for a
Right.
woman to accept you for who you are, as opposed to trying to get you and, you know, trying to make you into what she think you should be. I
Right.
think that's a mistake, to get with a woman who thinks she can change you and turn you into this other shit other than
Right.
what you already are. You know, so, you know, as long as you're not facing those type of obstacles, man, you know, it is what it is. I say again, whatever brings a black man peace. You know, whatever bring a black man peace, I'm all for it, man. I'm all for it. If she brings you peace and you think she the one, I won't be the one to tell you not to do it. That's for sure.
I think she's better than my ex-wife by a long
Mm,
shot because
okay.
I went against everything that I. My ex-wife. I'm not trying to talk bad about her, but when I first met her, she was another man's mistress and side chick.
Oh, well, that was a bad sign right there.
I,
that was a bad that was a bad sign. That was
yeah.
a big that was a big old red flag the size of a house. All right. That wasn't a small red flag. That's a
Right.
giant freaking red flag. All right. That's a
Yeah.
giant red flag, brother. Giant red
Yeah.
flag.
Had 2 kids, debt. I'm like,
Uh,
I don't know.
and you still went through with it? You still
Yeah.
went through with it?
Yeah.
Why?
And then
Why?
I found out that everybody at my job knew about her and told me if they would have knew I was marrying her, they would have told me not to.
Shit, if I would have knew and I didn't even know you during that time, I'd have been like, don't do it. What you told me just now, I'd be like, nah, man, don't fuck around. You know, that's a big ass red flag, man. That's what I'm saying. You know, I hope you're sure, brother Terrence, about what you're about to embark on. I just want you to be sure, brother. That's it. I'm not trying to dissuade you. If you
Right.
sure, go for it.
I'm not 100% sure.
Up.
I'm thinking about it. Like on that 6-hour bus ride tomorrow and tonight, I'm going to think about it.
Oh, shit.
I was tossing and turning last night.
And you said the last time you went, you had a layover in Charlotte, right?
Yeah, for an hour. The first time it was a half hour. The second time it was an hour. This time it's gonna be another hour.
Man, I might have to come down. I might have to come down to the goddamn station, man, and make sure you sure in real life and shit.
I'm through. I'll be there at 2:35.
You know, I mean, but I say again, man, I mean, you know, it's your life, brother. You gotta live it. You know, I mean, I can't live it for you. None of us brothers up on the internet, we cannot live it for you. We can tell you a whole bunch of bullshit and fill your mind up with a whole bunch of stuff. But at the end of it all, it's you at the end of it all. So, you know, I just hope you know what you're doing. That's it.
I mean, if you want to stop by, I'm looking at the ticket. I'll be there by 2:35.
What, tomorrow?
Yeah.
Okay. I might come down there and be like, man, are you sure? Are you sure about this shit? But you sound like you are. So you know,
I'm half and I ain't gonna say I'm half and half, because if I'm half and half, I don't need to do it.
Absolutely not.
I'm about 80-20.
Okay. Well, maybe you'll figure the other 20% out, you know, when you're on your way there and shit. You know, you have it all up. But you're going with the damn engagement ring, aren't you? You taking the engagement ring with you. So shit. Yeah. Well, when you get there, you gonna do it. You're gonna get on bended knee. If you taking the ring with you, when you get there, you're getting on bended knee when you get there, right? That's what you're taking the ring for. I don't know about bended knee. Oh, okay. But you're gonna do something?
Yeah, I had just took a boot off my foot earlier this week.
Oh, okay. But you're going to propose when you go down there. That's why you bought the damn ring. You're going to propose to her, right?
Yeah.
That's the reason for the trip, right? Because you're going to propose. Yeah. You're gonna bust that diamond out and be like, girl, do you want to be mine? That's what that's what you're going to do.
20 of our family members is going to be there.
Oh shit. How the hell? Oh, so what? You planned it already? You just told everybody except her?
No, her sister planned everything, got everybody together.
Oh, so you just gonna show up and play it off and act like nothing's going on, and then you're gonna bust the diamond out. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Like I said, I'm not 100% sure. I'll be honest, I'm not.
Okay. Sounds like a plan, man. You know, you gotta hit me up and let me know how it turned out. Hopefully she say yes. Yeah. Hopefully she say yes.
Oh, no. I made sure she was going to say yes before I broke the ring.
Well, how you know?
I asked her hypothetically.
Have y'all been talking about marriage already? Y'all been
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I asked her hypothetically.
Okay.
I said, if I was to propose, would you say yes?
And then what'd she say? What'd she say?
She said she would say yes. Because I didn't tell you, the first day I was out there, we went to go get ring size.
Oh shit. You ain't fucking around, huh? You moving fast.
Oh nah, she was like, that was the plan. I said, all right. Because she said she ain't gonna be nobody's girlfriend forever.
Oh, okay. So she's marriage-minded. She's a marriage-minded woman then.
Yeah.
She's marriage-minded. Okay. Well, you know, you don't find too many of them. You know, I mean, you just don't. But if you don't mess around and she ain't got no kids?
Nah, no children.
Oh shit. You definitely definitely done found a diamond in the rough.
The only issue for me, that if we was to get married, I would inherit her $20,000 debt.
Well,
I don't have no debt.
That's a tough one. But if you take her on, you're taking that on. You're also taking that on. You do realize that, right? You're taking that on.
I know.
Wow. Perfect Black, my brother. You want to chime in on this, man?
Oh yeah, man. What's going on? Thanks for having me, brother. Can you hear me?
What's good with it, brother? Perfect
It's
Black.
going good, man. It's going good. Has got some good news on this end, man, and it's looking really good, man. And in terms of the the issue that I've been uh telling folks about, this custody thing, got some really, really good news. It's going
All
real
right.
good, man. It's going real good. I'll
Glad
probably
to
be
hear
filling
it.
people. Yeah, I'll probably be filling people in. The case is still going, but
Glad to hear it.
it's looking.
Oh, before you start, let me ask you, what do you got going on election night next Tuesday?
I don't have any plans. What day is that on?
That's
That's
November
Tuesday.
3rd. Yeah,
I mean,
Tuesday.
because
Monday,
I'm
Tuesday.
I'm
That's a Tuesday.
covering the election, and I'm
Oh,
trying to
that's
get some
Tuesday.
brothers in
Probably the
with different
GM. That's about it.
perspectives.
Probably the
Okay.
GM. That's about it.
All right. Well, if you got time, man, stop through, man, because I'm having everybody come through and give their perspective on the election, and
Mhm.
we're gonna be updating the races and talking about local politics and all that kind of stuff,
Oh, I
man.
got a whole
So,
bunch of a lot to say on that.
well, come through, man.
What time are you
Tuesday.
starting?
I'll probably start at 9, a little earlier than
Oh,
I
okay,
usually
yeah,
start.
I'll be home and set up by then. So yeah, absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay. Hold up. The star of the goddamn show then finally made his ass up in here, Brother Haywood.
Hey, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear
Yeah.
you, man. Why the hell you always got to show up late? God damn it. Let's talk about
It's
that
not.
before we.
No. That's not what. That's not what it is, man. Your email went straight to spam or something like that. Didn't even come in my regular emails. That's what happened.
Oh,
So I was
shit.
checking
So
the
what's
board. So I
good with it?
checked Google. I checked Yahoo. I didn't see anything, and then finally found it.
What's good with it, man? Hold up. Let me go ahead. I'm going to queue up
Oh,
everybody.
just watching it. Can you?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to queue up your article, the link that you sent me, so everybody can see it. Put it up on the screen. Once I find it, that is. All right, there it is. All right. Oh, shit. He done dropped the hell off. Oh, there he
Hey,
is.
I don't know what happened.
Yeah, got you. You're back.
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to share your article. Everybody, this is my brother, Corey Haywood, late as hell. The star of the show. Late as hell. But let me see. Let's see if I can do this without messing it up. I'll go ahead and put it on the screen. Let's see. There it is. All right. Can everybody see that? Can y'all see that? It
Yeah, I
is
can see it.
titled.
Let's see it.
It is titled "The Black Hat." Ice Cube wants Democrats to earn the black vote. How's that make him a sellout? This is an article written in the Black Hat by my brother here, Corey Haywood. So won't you go ahead and lay out, Brother Haywood, your premise and why you wrote the article?
Well, Ice Cube and the backlash that he has received and is currently receiving is just proof that niggas will be niggas after all. Let me go further into it. Now, you have a man who wants the best for his people. Okay? You have a man who reached out to Democrats. He reached out to Republicans as well. And apparently, Democrats said, hey, man, nigga, we don't want to talk to you right now. We'll wait until the election is over and we'll get back to you. Republicans and the Trump administration immediately reached out to Ice Cube and they negotiated an agreement to pump millions of dollars into the black community over the next several years, right? To empower black businesses, black people, and to ensure black progress. Republicans did that, not Democrats. And Ice Cube ultimately orchestrated the whole thing. Of course, he's being called a sellout and a coon for trying to help these niggas. And this is what happens when you're an Ice Cube. When you're someone who goes against the grain and steps outside of the box, thinks for himself, and chooses unorthodox means to get what you want. Let me also remind you that you don't have to like the person you're doing business with. That's not required. Trump may be a racist to many of you. He may be an asshole. He may be untrustworthy. But the point is, if he's offering you money, if he's putting money on the table, niggas, take it. Shut the fuck up and take the money. What did Obama do for y'all? 8 years straight, ignores you niggas. And when he finally left office, he got millions and disappeared. You niggas are still broke and toothless. Been that way for 30 years or more, for decades, voting for Democrats. You have nothing. You have no money. You have no power. You have nothing. You are nothing. Under Democratic leadership, you've accomplished absolutely nothing. And you're mad at Ice Cube for trying to go another way? You're stupid. You're ignorant. And I'm tired of it. That's what the article's basically about.
Do any of you brothers want to question Brother Haywood?
No, I agree 100%.
All right. Brother Perfect Black. Is he there? Brother Perfect Black?
May I say something else?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was in the laundromat earlier talking to some people, and one a married black couple was talking to me, and they was like, did you already vote? I said, yes, I voted for Trump already. And they was like, you voted for Trump? They was like, well, I never thought I'd see the day, but I'm going to be voting for Trump this election too. I said, you believe in family and God values, right? I said, yes. She said, yes. I said, so vote for Trump. I said, y'all voted for Democrats and they're not doing nothing, and y'all still voting for them. We had 7,000 black people be politicians, and they done nothing for us. 7,000 black politicians did not do nothing for us in the last 60 years, and we still voting for them. They're not doing nothing, and we still get their vote. But if Trump wanted to do something for us, black folks would say he's just trying to get your vote. I mean, what do you want? At least he trying.
Yeah, well, you know,
I agree.
this is the thing in America. As a black person, you're automatically supposed to follow the flock. That's what they expect you to do. You know how you look up in the sky and you see a group of geese, a group of swallows, or a group of whatever, and they all flying in the same direction. That's what they expect you to do as black people in America. And if you kind of sway out of that flock of flying geese, they're like, oh, hell, what the hell's the matter with you? And that's what we're up against in America, man. That's what we're up against, you know. And,
We have a one-track mind.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. That's what we're up against, man. So, you know, none of this stuff surprises me, man. I mean, none of this stuff that I see actually surprises me at this point. I mean, I've seen it so much and for so long. I'm not surprised by anything that I see at this point. Nothing at all. Nothing at all. So,
And I'd like to add also, okay.
Go ahead, Brother Haywood.
Oh, no, I would like to add that if you look at the cities that are the poorest, our communities rather, that are the poorest, the ones that are, of course, plagued by the most violence, poor education, poverty, you name it. Most of these communities, most of these cities are under Democratic leadership. Why is that? It's because they depend on people of color, African Americans in particular. They depend on us to be essentially unable to provide for ourselves. They want us to be stupid. They want us to be ignorant. They want us to be without. Because as long as we are dependent on their power, as long as we're reliant on them for our survival, they will always get our vote. They feel entitled to it at this point. They have done nothing to actually earn it. They feel entitled. And it's because we give it to them every election cycle. We don't require them to work for it. They have essentially been entitled to it. They've inherited our vote for the last 50 or 60 years. And our communities continue to get progressively worse. People don't see that. It's as if we are blind to what's right in front of us. All of the gun violence, the gang violence that we've seen, all of it's taking place in cities led by Democrats. You look at the riots, the looting, the arson that is currently taking place in Philadelphia. Once again, that is a city led by Democrats. We have to hold ourselves accountable first for perpetuating a very vicious and toxic sort of pattern. And that is, we continue to put our faith and our trust in the Democratic Party, in politicians who don't really care about us. They only care about our vote when it's convenient. Otherwise, they disappear. Kamala Harris, for example, who is Joe Biden's running mate. When did we ever see her? Apart from this, maybe 3 or 4 months ago, when she was suddenly thrust into the limelight next to Joe Biden. She never showed up in our communities. She never cared about us. She never spoke on our behalf. She's married to a white man on top of that. And she really never referred to herself as African American until just a few months ago. She is playing us. She's manipulating us. Joe Biden, another character. Barack Obama, let me ask you something. With all the violence that is taking place in Chicago over the years, when did he show his black ass up in Chicago? 8 years in office. Not once did he show up in Chicago to denounce the violence taking place there. You know why? He couldn't condemn leadership in Chicago because Chicago is, of course, led by Democrats. He can't condemn one of his own, so he ignored what was going on. He turned a blind eye to it. That's Obama's legacy. Essentially, what he did was he empowered gays and transsexuals, lesbians, people who clearly, whose interests don't align with our own. He ignored black people, the ones who put him in office, people of color. Despite promising change and progress, he did nothing for us 8 years straight. And then he reemerges with Joe Biden and encourages black people to vote, black men to vote. When has Democrats ever cared about black men? When have they ever cared? We are the forgotten group. They have only empowered black women to kick us out of the home so that they can continue getting government assistance. They have never empowered us. They have never reached out to us. They don't care about us. Fuck Obama, fuck Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and the Democratic Party. That's how I feel.
Amen.
Well, let me ask you this, Brother Haywood. Have you gotten a chance to read the CWBA? Have you gotten a chance to read it?
Not in its entirety, so I won't even pretend that I know it all from cover to cover.
Yeah, because we did a stream on it last night, and I also before I started this, my man Sire Tice read it. He read like pretty much the whole thing, and there's a lot of stuff in there that kind of makes sense. The only real problem I have with it overall is that it doesn't talk about the black responsibility part till the end. I think that part should have been first. That should have been first, not last. They got that at the bottom, the black responsibility piece. And, it talks about not making excuses and, pulling the race card and slavery and all this kind of nonsense. It talks about that kind of stuff, which like I say again, it should have been at the top of it. But, overall, there's a lot of things in it that make sense to me. There's some things in there that I think are kind of iffy, and there's some things in there that I kind of disagree with totally. But overall, it doesn't seem like it's, a total wash. I do think it needs some tweaks, though. It does require some tweaks. Requires a few tweaks. I can say that. But I got it up for those of you who may have missed it, who came in late. If you rewind it back and you go to the beginning of the stream, my man Sire Tice is reading it and it's on the screen as well. So you can see it and hear it all at the same time for those of you who missed it the other night when we went across it, and you can kind of get familiar with it yourself and, come to your own conclusions. Me personally, I don't know why everybody is calling Brother Ice Cube a sellout. Why they would consider him a sellout, I don't know. Because if you're somebody who's proposing something to help black folks, how does that make you a sellout? Because of who you're proposing it to? Is that the thinking that's going on?
No.
It's go ahead.
No, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You got it. Perfect Black. Go ahead.
No, to me, and I agree with his plan, but it's not what he said; it's who's saying it. Okay, and you want to look at the majority of the people, especially the people who are voicing the loudest against them. Look at the people who are doing it. These are mostly black women.
Yeah.
See, black women with this Ice Cube thing, he's exposed. I don't want to say he's exposed some, but he's exposed something at least on the mainstream level of just what some of the biggest problems in the black community is. I mean, black women are always talking about it. They get on Oprah, they get on all these other platforms and just talk mad cash shit about how black men ain't doing this, or how black men ain't taking the lead. They're not building, they're not doing it. Well, when Ice Cube comes out here, worth what, $150 million or whatever it is that he's worth, he's hired, just like Kevin Samuels pointed out, he's hired some of those women who was castigating them, who was against them. You know what I mean? Most of those women ain't been relevant since the 90s. Here's this man here. He's been married to one woman with no scandals and anything like that. All his kids by the same woman for 20 some odd plus years. Nothing wrong with the man. He's come out with a plan. He took the lead. He came out with a plan that is actually beneficial for black folks. And the first thing that they can come out with is criticize him and talk about where is the plan for black women. As if black women don't already got plans from the federal government. So you want to know the people who are calling him a sellout is some of the very same people who have been selling out the black community for decades. It's these ungrateful, unmarriageable, undateable spinsters, black women who can't hold a candle to what that man has done and what he's accomplished. Not one of them. So those are the people who are calling him a sellout. Oh, and their Mago son. Nobody from the soil, as brother Jason Black will put it, nobody from the soil is calling Ice Cube a sellout. Nobody. It's these gatekeeping bitches. These single women who cannot find a man. It's those type of folks of the black community who are calling him a sellout. Everybody that I know in the community is applauding Ice Cube. Everybody. Everybody I know when Snoop Dogg went on his apology tour, it was the people in the community, including myself, castigated, excoriated him. Yeah. They're not going to do this. They're not going to do that to the guy who was one of the founding fathers of gangster rap, whose ghetto past is solidified in goddamn concrete, who produced the song "Fuck the Police," and have been writing a lot of political. No. Nobody from the hood, nobody from the soil is calling him a sellout. It's these gatekeeping motherfuckers from the black community. Those are the ones that call. And he has exposed some things. He has really showed just why a lot of black women A lot of black middle-aged women are single and nobody wants their
ass. Well, I'm
And
a
if I
true
can
believer
piggyback
in
on
people
that,
know. Go ahead, brother Haywood. Go ahead, brother Haywood.
what's really what's really irking me now, if you guys can hear me, um,
Yeah,
is this idea that black women are the most disrespected, the most unprotected group of people on earth. That's what they call themselves. Well, how the fuck is that true? Says who? If anything, they are the most trifling group of people on the face of the earth. You women continue, I mean women, not all black women, but many black women
You're bugging out.
continue.
yeah, you fading in and out, brother Haywood. We're hearing like every other word.
Yeah, you're bugging out real bad.
To
You're probably in a bad spot. You're probably driving.
hypersexualize yourselves. You expose yourselves.
Fading in and out,
Black
brother
men,
Haywood.
many of the
Brother,
niggas who you claim not to want, because let's just be real. These women go after a specific type of nigga, and it's the nigga who disrespects them on a regular basis. But they want other black men to step up and protect them from criticism when they do things to deserve the criticism they fucking get. Fuck your protection. I don't give a shit. You're the most disrespected group in America. That's because you're the most dysfunctional group in America. And the disrespect you get is often the result of your dumb ass, fool ass behavior. That's how I feel.
yeah, hard to disagree with that. Hard to disagree with that.
Yeah, the way that they that black women are being used by the DNC, by the Democrats, the way that they're being used by them is absolutely it's and again it's a shame because it's being displayed, it's being put on display for God and the whole world to see. I mean, it's absolutely shameful. It's shameful. You know,
Yeah,
when
it
you
is.
look at that video that were that were Ice Cube was on with all those goddamn fences. When you look at that, that was a terrible display. And I gotta say, black women, if you guys don't start to shame these women for this, because they're doing it because they're not getting any pushback from their own demographic. They're not getting any
Nope.
pushback. So black
Nope.
women, I gotta say, if you think black men just gonna stand idly by, especially now, you think black men just gonna stand idly by and watch this shit? Don't be mad if more men like myself, because I'm doing it, start encouraging other black men of any work whatsoever to start dating out culturally, at least culturally, and start
Yep.
replacing your ass.
And I put a
If there-
link to Brother Haywood's article in the chat. Go ahead, click the link and check it out. Check out my brother's writing. Check out his article. You can see Brother Haywood down at the bottom of it, up there in the black hat. Go ahead and check it out. I have put it into the chat so y'all can check it out and read it for yourselves and come to your own conclusions, because y'all know here we let the audience decide. But go ahead, brother Perfect Black. Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead, brother.
No, I mean, I know we're gonna get on the politics at a later date, but yeah, this is one of the things that I had a lot of discussions with a lot of friends and all that who pay attention to this space but don't really get on, and they now this is one thing I always get on them about. They don't say nothing openly about it around our space. They don't, they don't really defend. They defend him silently. But when it comes to the actual streets, the streets love everything he's saying. And people like me been saying we should stop giving our vote automatically to the Democrats, and they haven't done anything for us. And the fact that, and when we say that type of stuff publicly, we're the only Democrat, we're the only voting bloc who tell each other that we have no right to demand anything for our vote. We're the only ones that tell ourselves, oh, it's selfish for you to demand that while every other group is doing the exact same thing. Talk about
Yeah,
this.
well, you already know that we as black men, we're not really considered part of the community, man, until we laying in the street with a policeman's bullet in our head. I mean, we're we're not really considered part of the community until you're laying in the street with your brains splattered all over the sidewalk, and now you're part of the collective. You're part of the society. I heard somebody say today, the only time a black heterosexual man is considered valuable is when he's dead. Usually when he's shot by a white policeman. I heard somebody say that today. So y'all know who you are. I just bit your damn line and said it on here tonight. But yeah. So that's kind of where we are, man. So if you're a black man, you're definitely not supposed to speak out. And how dare you speak out, and what you're saying goes against the common narrative, against the grain, against the quote unquote collective society of black folks. So, I'm not surprised he's getting the blowback that he's getting. I'm really not.
I'm not surprised. But here's another thing that I think that brothers that are listening to should really take heed to.
Mm-hmm.
Just look at, now again, the black men, we don't have a lot of voices. We don't have many voices at all. Okay, no. But the few that are out there that speak sincerely, look at the blowback that he's gotten. That ought to tell you what they really don't want black men to do.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the blowback. Look at the blow. He didn't say anything. For him, it was mostly about restoring the black family, which includes helping out black men. But when you say that, just like when Barack Obama had the My Brother's Keepers program, who stopped that? That wasn't white women. That wasn't white men. Who stopped that crap? Who bitched about it the most? See, when you start talking about black men taking their place, that's why I see all these there's a lot of these women that are on YouTube, like Athenian Nations, we all know them, who get on YouTube and really lambast black men about, well, you don't take the lead, you're not leaders, you're not builders. They say it because they don't want black men building and they don't want black men leading. They don't.
No.
That's why they don't vote Republican. That's why they don't vote Republican. I'll tell you why. Democrats, here's the thing, to piggyback on what you just said, I totally agree. The reason why conservatism in the black community is shunned, although black people historically, we've been conservative since we got here, right? Family, religion, all of these things, they used to be staples within our community. They are no longer. But black women, many of them, not all, they want to have the dominant role in their families, in their communities, right? And because of that, they vote for Democrats because they know the Democratic policies will empower them to take control of their families and of their communities. Republicans, conservatives, we value, and I'll consider myself a conservative, a moderate, but a conservative no less. We value tradition. We value traditional gender roles as well. And of course, black women have been bucking the system and tradition for years. Once again, they want to wear the pants. They want control. They want power specifically over black men. Why would they vote for Republicans? Why would they support conservatives when they know their values and interests aren't aligned with the right? Democrats empower them, and so they will always get their vote. That's how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And shout out to brother Sir Tice. He says, for the $10 super chat, appreciate that, brother. He said, wish I could have joined brother Zabe. Salute to brother Corey. Got his book. The panel, shout out, perfect, is making great points. Always willing to do any work for the T.P.O.T series, brother Zabe. Yeah, brother Sir Tice did the reading. At the beginning, he read the whole contract out at the beginning of the show, and he says he has Corey's book. Which one? Which book? Because Corey's up here. If you want to come up here and chop it up with him, brother Sir Tice. Brother Haywood is in the house.
Indeed,
How
indeed.
often do you get to meet an author of a book that you have in your collection? So if you want to come up, man, and chop it up with Brother Haywood, man, he's here. So, come on up, man, and maybe you can fuck around and get an autographed copy or something. I don't know. But come on up, man, if you want to talk to him, brother. But go ahead, y'all. Y'all got it. Texting me. Y'all go ahead, man. I got a text coming through.
Oh,
Here for the brothers.
yeah, but I originally came up to because I kind of want to address Brother Terrence here because I didn't hear the whole thing. I kind of came in on it when he said that he pretty much met her and met your wife and you're getting ready to propose to her pretty quick. So forgive me if I'm asking you something that you've already addressed. How long have you known your fiance? How long have you known her before you get ready to propose to her?
Brother Terrence, is he still with us? He might have stepped away.
He might have stepped away. Yeah, I came in right at the tail end of it, and I don't know how long it was, but I can tell you about my wife. Because she's still new to the United States. She's from South Africa. She's a Black South African, man. And when I met her, I was I won't say fresh out of a bad relationship, but it had been some time before I dated because I didn't really want. I was actually at the point I just didn't want to date any more Black American women. I just didn't, and I was trying to figure out a way how can I get myself over to the continent and bring me back a wife. And I wound up meeting my current wife now. She's over in the bed here. She probably listen to me. But we met by chance. And man, I heard her accent, and man, we met in September, man, and just a few months after that, we were engaged, and now she's pregnant. We married in April. So I can say this: a man, and this is something that I really agree with Kevin Samuels on. It don't really take that long to really know exactly what you want. It don't really take that long for a man to know exactly what you want. It don't take a year, 2, 3, 4 years before a man really knows what because she came in and just blew the house down. He needs to mute.
All right, who's racing motorcycles in the background? Who's racing motorcycles Who racing motorcycles? Goddamn it! If you ain't talking, mute your line, man. If you ain't talking, oh, never mind. I'll do it. Don't worry. I have the controls. I will do it for you. Go ahead, Perfect Black.
But yeah, it don't take that long for guys to know exactly what they want. And I can say it's been a joy for me. She's been the best thing for me. I mean, when she first came over to my place, man, she was cleaning and cooking and all this other shit. And I'm like, yeah, I think I'm being punked or something, man. But no, I mean, and after talking to her folks, talking to her parents, no, that's how she was raised. And once I got a real good confirmation of that, I was like, yeah, there is no. Ain't no more thinking about it for me. It's what I want, and I'm gonna take it, and I ain't gonna look back on it. So, look, Brother Terrence, man, if that's what it is, if she does it, she makes you happy, bro, do it. Ain't no sense of saying, well, I'm just gonna hold off for a whole year. I'm gonna give it a year, putting a timetable on it. No, it don't make no. And here's a little known fact that people don't know. I'm not a Republican, but I'm not a Democrat either. But a lot of people don't know Colin Powell. He didn't know his wife that long. I think he only knew her a few weeks or so. Then he proposed, and they've been married ever since, still together. So, and I've dated a woman when I was living in Florida. I dated a woman for 3 years, and it didn't work at all. My ex-wife, we dated for a couple of years before our daughter was conceived, and that marriage didn't last a year. So how long you known a person and all that. Really, that's kind of overrated. You know, you can be married to a person or know a person, but until you live with that person, you'll never really know them. You know, you'll never really know them. And about that, I heard what he said about about the COVID. You know, being with the COVID for me. One thing I told my wife that hell is because when everything started getting really shut down, even though I was still kind of working. At first, I was working from home because they wasn't going to let me not work because they needed me. But I said that hell, if we can go through this COVID stuff without being at each other's throat, then I think we know we got something, and here we are. So I can tell you, I've never been happier, and this is something that I know for a fact that society, in particular Black society, tell Black men, they don't. I don't want to say they condition Black men. They condition Black men out of their own happiness. Right? They condition us out of our own masculinity, and they condition us out of our own happiness. They tell us that we need to date what they call age appropriate and take some of these expenses off the hands of the rest of society. Well, I say fuck that. See, and my wife is 25, I'm 45, and I was told by Taz, he called me a pedophile for that shit. But it's all about your happiness, brother. You be you. Do what makes you happy. You know what I mean? I still always want to come home to a family. And Black American women don't present themselves as family material, wife material. By and large, they don't. What the hell I look like going out and go get a 35, 40-year-old woman who ain't trying to have no children that I'm still trying to have. And I got to deal with all her bullshit. I got to come home, play the world, and then come home and try to and deal with challenges for my fuck. Now I don't want to deal with. I'm not going to spend the rest of my days putting myself through stress, giving myself high blood pressure and all this other bullshit, just dealing with this woman, just trying to live successfully with this woman. Fuck no.
Yeah.
I say for you brothers out there, if you are worth anything, you got your career going, you about your business, don't bother with these women, man. Don't do it. And this coming from a guy who got a wife who's pregnant with a girl, and I already got a 9-year-old girl and a sister. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. So, brother, be happy.
Yep. This brings you peace, man. This brings you peace, brother. I'm with it. I support it, man. If you only met her 2 days, you think she bring you peace, there it is, man. I'm sold. I am sold. But let me ask you this, and let me ask Brother Haywood too. Is it that way politically too? Do you think Brother Ice Cube is being called a sellout because he's not doing what Mama expects him to do? He's not falling in line with the tenets of Mama. Because make no mistake, man, the reason why I talk about these mammies so much, man, is because I think they have a chokehold on Black society. And I think they're not quick to give that chokehold up, because we as Black people, we're stuck in this loop of Mama knows best. And I think there's this thing within Black society, whether it be the makeup of a family, how the so-called society runs, and political and social constructs. They want to dictate it. They want to dictate not just how they do it, but how everybody else does it. Now, any other time, no one's really concerned with Black men, how Black men operate, what Black men do, or unless, they see a Black man with a woman that ain't Black, that is. But any other time, they're not that much concerned with Black men. But when it comes to how, you know, we operate politically, they will literally get on TV and say, y'all black men need to get in line. Y'all black men need to vote X, Y, and Z way. Y'all need to vote X, Y, and Z for X, Y, and Z candidate. They will really do that. And I think that it's this whole freaking mama knows best syndrome that has this stranglehold on black society. Am I wrong here?
No, I don't think you're wrong on that, brother X. But I would go further and say that also, and again, I have to go back to this Q thing, how they treated them, and that this feminist ideology, right? This whole a lot of that whole back and forth, that was it just smacked of a whole bunch of feminist ideology. Now, I've never understood why black women needed to be feminists, because black men don't control them. They just don't control them. We tell them all the time we don't like the goddamn weave and fake ass nails, but they wear them all the time as if we love it. So black men are not the ones that they got their problems with. But this is this whole feminist ideology that is told them, that is lied to them, and said that your man is your rival, is your equal, and all this other type of stuff. And society has went about the business of giving them just that, a lot of power, and they exercise it. So how dare Ice Cube say something out of turn without our permission? You know, the only time that black men are really paid attention to is when they start saying stuff like that. When they start talking about real things, and when they start talking about black folks need to start doing things that's going to give black people real power. I mean, real unapologetic power. Otherwise, they wouldn't have said nothing to Ice Cube. They wouldn't have said nothing to him. But for he said something to the extent to where he was really talking about bringing the black community power, and which would, with a consequence of that, would be restoring the black male to his rightful position in the family. And they feel threatened by that. Their political power is threatened by a black man leading his household. They are threatened by that dynamic. They don't want that. So when Ice Cube was talking about, that's what they didn't like about it, because it included a black man. That's why they all had to fight over themselves to go on TV and talk about, ask the question, well, what is in there for black women? And he repeatedly said, well, black women are black people. But they didn't want to hear that. They want to separate themselves from black men. They did everything that they could intellectually do to separate themselves from black men. Their power comes from being apart from black men. So when you got a brother like Ice Cube talking about all the black community, they cannot allow that type of message to go out unanswered. And the media, the white media, will give them all the room that they want to express all the separation that they so desire. That's why, brother. That's exactly why. That's what I will go a little bit further. Yeah, it is that whole mama knows best and all that. Yeah, it is that. But I think it goes much deeper. It cuts much deeper than just that. They don't want black men to say shit about nothing. They don't want black men to do nothing but just continue to go and play their basketball, run the football, and that's it. That's for them. That's what they want black men to do. They want black men to continue to play sports. They want black men to continue to present ourselves as exploitable resources, and if not that, exploitable resources for the penal system. That's it. They do not want black men in any sort of leadership position at all. So they have to do what they can to nip that shit in the bud when people like Ice Cube come out and say what he got to say. Because they can't control him. He don't need them. He don't need them for nothing. He don't need them for no job. He's not like Roland Martin and all they're looking for is continuously to have his resume out there trying to get him a job to be somebody's press secretary and all. He don't need that. See, and that's a dangerous prospect for black women to have to contend with, because he don't need them. He can speak unapologetically to the needs of black people and black people only. Notice that's what he was talking. Black people only. While they would continue to defend this people of color and all of the bullshit. No, we need something specifically for us. How that look, I don't know, but it needs to be specifically for us. Reparations, absolutely. You know, anything short of a Marshall Plan for the black community, for black ADOS or FBL, whichever acronym that you want to use. If it ain't that for us, then and quite frankly, I don't care which party would deliver it. If Donald Trump said he would wanted to deliver something like that, he would have my vote. Now, I didn't vote for him, but I didn't vote for the Dixiecrat either, and his phony black woman. And it's funny to me that they're calling Ice Cube a sellout, a man who has been, like I said before, he's got a black wife, a whole black wife, several black children by one black woman. Yet this Kamala woman who went to a HBCU, but you mean to tell me who could not find a black man who was worthy of her time, who went to a HBCU and found her a white husband. Nobody calls her a sellout. I find that very, very insidiously just sickening. The epitome of being down for his people is being called a sellout, and a woman who has really no real connection to the black community, no real honest connection to the black community, a woman who didn't even identify herself as a black woman until she started running for president, who, when she was sworn in as a senator, she identified as an Indian. Think I'm playing? Go look that up yourself. But yet nobody calls her a sellout. She's riding on this whole black this sister girl wave, and black women are eating that bullshit up.
Well, you know, us black folks, we want to claim anybody who's willing to say they're part of us anyway. I mean, I don't know why we continue to do that shit. I mean, I think we'll be doing it until the end of time. All you got to do, you could be fucking Asian, and if you get up there and say, "Hey, I'm black too," we'll go ahead and accept it. We'll just accept it, man. If you, no matter who you are, if you say you're black, we will say you're black too. No matter where you come from, what your heritage is, what your race is, what your ethnic makeup is. If you're willing to stand up and say, "I'm black too," we'll go ahead and we'll say it too. We'll say, "Yep, you're black." But we've been joined by my brother, Art, the style. What's good with it, brother Art?
What's happening, brother? What's happening, brother X and brother Perfect Black?
What's going on, brother?
Yeah, I'm over here. I was dozing off and working and dozing, and I was like, man, let me get on this panel.
Yeah, man. we had brother Haywood up here. He done dropped the hell off. I think he driving or something, so he probably in a bad spot.
Yeah, I heard him. He was dropping fire. I mean, you know, and that's the sentiment that most brothers are saying. Just on the side note, when she was young, she was fine as hell.
Who?
Kamala. She was fine when she was younger.
For real?
Bruh, look it up. She was bad. Look at the picture with her and
he said, "Look it up."
Yeah, because you know, I mean that's the only thing I can give her, you know, just the looks back then. Yeah, but everything else, you know, and check it out, man. You know, this is just pretty much adding and piggybacking on Perfect Black. A lot of these sisters, a lot, not all, but a lot are really talking about this is going to be the first thing for us, and there's somebody we can look up to, blah, blah, blah. This chick slept her way up to the top. You know, I mean, that's her legacy. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
she was with Slick Willie Brown.
Yeah, Willie Brown.
She was like his mistress or something,
right? Side piece, you know, and it was out public. You know, it wasn't no hiding. You know, she took pictures with him then. You know,
while
And
locking up innocent black men. Yep, go right ahead. Yep, while locking up innocent black men.
and
Hope
going
for
back and going back to Q, man, I kind of studied behind this, and kind of read behind the lines. I say this a lot. You know, if you look at how Cube looked before this whole political climate, his beard was a little bit more trim. He was always wearing like a sports hat or some kind of logo hat, a chain, and a shirt. He was looking kind of like relaxed, like he had like some little topless caddy or something. He always had that look. Even when I met him at the airport, he had that same look. Now all of a sudden, he got the beanie hat. He got the lumberjack face. He got a snarl in his face. He got the Raiders in the back with the skull and all. He got all that stuff going. I mean, think about the optics. I mean, think about how that, even with the things he say, just by those chicks on Fox Soul and Roland Martin and even CNN, it makes them feel a certain way by looking at that, because that whole image displays black masculinity, black
yes.
frustration, even black blue collarism, all these different things. It had all that in there. So when you put that image next to a Garza, or even in the presence of all them sisters, because he was even though he made way more money than any of those people, he was the image that these women looked down upon. And the craziest part too, I think I may be echoing what you guys said already, but the craziest part is that most of his message was black family, black men, and ancestors.
Yeah. Yep.
And when he said it around Garza, I just love that chess move that he put on her. People, I don't know, people figured it out. Me and BGS talk about this a lot. When she asked them about who works with you, or whatever, and he kept saying that Adol's people, and then I said I mainly work with grassroots organizations that don't have ulterior motives, blah blah blah. That shut her all the way down, because if he would have said something else, she would have found some way to pick it apart. But the fact that he said that, she had nothing to say. So she had to come out and say, well, do you think BLM is a terrorist organization? She tried to like change the subject. I'm just gonna say this last thing. The main people that are criticizing these brothers, and I think y'all said it already, is these sisters that have these perceived power and perceived independence that they feel that's being rise above their black men, and they feel they're gonna lose the hold, and so they had to attack him instead of the people that needed to attack. The people that the people that's lying to them and making them think they have the power. Because let's not get it twisted. Most of these positions that they have, the white man gave it to them. That's what gave them whatever gave them black girl magic. The white man gave it to them. That's why they still make less than us.
Yep. And we've been joined by my brother Nagone. What's good with it, brother Nagone?
What's
Como
up,
vai,
man?
irmão?
What's going on, man?
Yeah. Como vai?
Como vai? Tudo bem, amigo? Tudo bem?
Estou bem. Estou esperando para minha esposa chegando aqui muito logo.
Oh, verdade? Ah, muito bem, muito
Sim.
bem, muito bem.
Sim.
Como é ela? Como é ela? Bem?
Ela está bem.
Y'all gonna stop speaking that Portuguese shit on my stream.
Tá bom.
Ela está bem, muito feliz comigo.
I know that's Portuguese, God damn it. Well, this is what puzzles me about this. Then we're gonna go to Brother Nagone. This is what pisses me off about this kind of stuff. You bring somebody on to talk to them about whatever they're doing, whether it's their positions, whether it's their plan, whether it's, whatever arguments they present, you bring them on to talk about that. And what ends up happening is you start pigeonholing the guy and you make him defend other people. You're forcing him to defend Trump. You're forcing him to defend Republicans. Like, he's not there for that. He's there to talk about his initiatives. He's there to talk about his positions, his plans. And it always seems like, especially if a person is on the other side of the narrative of the people who are quote unquote interviewing him, you don't even challenge his arguments based on his plan or his position or his initiative. You want him to defend other people. He's not there to defend Trump or Trump's record or Republicans' record. He's there to talk about his plan. He's there to talk about, what he wants to do as far as black people are concerned. So why pigeonhole the guy and force him to defend Trump and other Republicans? To me, that's just stupid. But go ahead, Brother Nagone.
All right. Well, with respect to Cube, the only issue that I have is that he's not politically sophisticated enough to front run a game like this. What I would, and I'm saying, if you're going to jump into politics and you're going to play this type of game, and you're coming in as a ranked novice in this area, you're going to look like you're going to get manipulated, like you're going to get used. Your plan is not. Most people didn't even read his plan. Most people don't even know what was in his plan. I happen to take a serious look at it, and others have as well. And a lot of stuff that he has in there is not new, and a lot of stuff was actually out in the Congressional Black Caucus, and some others have really put a lot of these pieces out previously. But that's okay. We understand what he was trying to do. But as a political novice, and the timing of the issue, and coming up to the Trump, to the commander in chief at this stage, and the timing of it put him in that kind of position to have these to have a lot of suckers coming at him. So at the end of the day, I think it was his kind of political naivete and and how he kind of went forward with this. I believe if he was going to put this plan out and run this, he should have been moving with some other political entities who know how to kind of integrate something like this into the game a little bit better. Because here the perception was looking like he was kind of being an opportunist. Maybe is he looking to cut some kind of deal? You have all kind of people that come up with all kind of reasons to kind of to take shots at him. So I feel as though and then you saw when he was on the interview, black women were like, where's our piece? You're not putting us on the table, and all this craziness. And and had it kind of was reeling him back on his heels. Now we saw his image and everything else like that, which was, which we're all down with. But at the end of the day, as me understanding politics as I do and understanding exactly how this kind of thing works, if you're going to play this on the presidential political level, I mean, going to a president, putting something out in front, and the timing of this during the election season, this late in the game, coming out there, he was a political novice. This wasn't his wheelhouse, if you will, and it didn't come off the way it could have come off, depending on some of the people who he could have worked with to really front run this a lot better. That's my critique of him. Not now I'm not looking at him as a bad guy or see out here doing something really fucked up. No, but looking at this from the political angle. If you're a political novice and unsophisticated in this game, the way you have to play, because now you're talking about put something on the table. Then you're talking about Mitch McConnell and these guys in Congress and all that who are they're going to sit down and try to nix on damn everything you're going to put out there. McConnell on them already told you anything that comes in here with, let's say, reparations or something like that, we're going to immediately veto. So that's not going down. So this has got to be run a certain type of way, and he didn't seem to really have a good handle on that. And
but I'm looking at. Go ahead. No, I'm looking at a tad bit different, because I'm looking at how the way that Trump's people get down, and there's no shot on the right or the left, but I don't know any other black person that came up to Trump and had stuff that was really on the behalf of black people besides Cube. And I'm not saying because most of those people that came up to Trump, they didn't really show that they had anything. Usually it was like Kanye West and
No,
hell, Diamond and Silk.
we're talking about clown ass niggas. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking
Right, right. But I'm just saying is that for some reason,
about
I'm
okay.
saying I'm saying that for some reason that it seemed like he was served as a Trojan horse because you had professional people that worked behind the scenes to get Trump just to take the stuff to him. It was more like he was the guy that was just delivering mail rather than just being a leader. So
Yeah,
I don't think that was his plan. I think somebody else put that for him, put that together for him.
yeah. That's true. I mean, and yeah, I agree. Like I said, when you're playing at this level, you have to play this sophisticated. And this guy is a rapper, a singer, movie guy, whatever. This is not his wheelhouse. He was a bit in over his head at this. Now, fine, that's fair enough. You're a political novelist, you learned a lesson. So now, if you're gonna really play this game the way you want to play it, you got to play with the right players, and you're gonna have to roll through the political system, and some of the political players of note to really kind of roll this like we have those people out there that are doing that now. But that's what Cuba's going to have to kind of do, and
Well,
that's all I'm saying. And I'm not here to down the guy or critique him in such a horrible way, because that I'm certainly not trying to do that. I'm just looking at this thing for what it was. Anyway, you guys go ahead.
My tinfoil hat, my tinfoil kufi tells me that is that I think those people that you looking for and they're going, I think they did try to meet with Trump, but I think those people got pushed away. I
No,
think
no, no,
those
no, no, no.
people, you know what
A
I'm
lot of
saying? I'm
people.
talking, but I'm trying to tell you, like those ones that are politically astute, that know what to say, know what to ask for. I think those people weren't really accepted from the right, from the right period, is because they knew what to expect, but I think Cube kind of threw them off, in my
No.
opinion.
No, Cuban throw them off. They haven't even said anything. The real deal is a lot of stuff is still working its way through Congress. A lot of this stuff is already being trying to be put in legislation. This stuff is already going through Congress. That's what I'm saying. This guy was in over his head. He was fucking up on this move. I don't want to nail him hard here because I know because I'm not really trying to go on any brothers, but he was cold case fucking up. But
There were
that's
two arguments, well, not arguments, but just discussions between Mike V and I think another brother. And okay, one brother said, I forgot who it was. He said, why not have, it might have been BGS. He said, why not have those items that were already in the books on the platinum plan that's happily being on the right. And so Mike V's argument was that stuff that was already in the books from Congress or the CBC is very left leaning. It's a very liberal
yeah,
concept,
yeah,
for black people. So he
yeah,
was saying that it's very unlikely that anybody from the right would push liberal agendas.
yeah. I mean,
So
but they can say that, but they're talking about liberal agendas. But right now, people are getting stimulus checks and folks are getting checks, for unemployment. I mean, you're looking at some of the most liberal, let's say, literally socialist, types of answers to this problem that we've ever seen so far. So that's what's going on the ground right now during the middle of a Republican administration. So when we start talking about left leaning and all this other kind of stuff like that, it all depends on who's saying it. But at the end of the day, what's the reality on the ground? Quite a bit different. Some very left leaning stuff going down right now. Someone would say downright socialist that's going down right now, of which it is. So
So if Cube has that stuff, because I saw it on Roland Martin too. He said that all that stuff, a lot of the stuff that he had in the contract was already proposed by Congress, the Black
yeah, yeah,
Congress or whatever. And
black
so the
black
thing
progressive.
is, are you saying that okay, if that was put, some of those things were put on the platinum plan, are you saying that it's possible for the right to push those things?
Yeah. The right gets involved in corporate cronyism, corporate welfare, and all this all day long. They do this all day long. It comes down to interest groups. That's what it really comes down to. So if it's if it's black and it's an agenda for black people, the right of who gets involved in the literally in, like I said, corporate cronyism, okay, crony capitalism, and all of that. That's very exclusive for them. They, engage in this on a regular and consistent basis. They may not want to back it up for you, just because it's black interests. So when you have people, McConnell and them sitting there in Congress, and sitting there and in the Congress and in the Senate, which we may see a flip in this on this election. There may be a flip, there may be a change where some of these changes might be even more amenable in Congress. But yeah, this is something that the right does all the time. But if they see that it's coming from this black side of the fence, they're probably going to be negative to it. That's just what we're looking at. So power. You have to have the numbers. You have to have the political structure in your favor to get a lot of this stuff done. So if you have those Congress and so forth that are not in your favor and you don't have the power, they're going to go against it. Anyway, go ahead.
Do you think Brother Ice Cube is a sellout, Brother Nagone? Do you think he should be? A lot of criteria of a sellout.
A lot of people hit him as a sellout and so forth. I'm not really going to jump all over that and say he's a sellout. So as of right now, for what I'm going to say, I'm saying politically he's a novice. He wasn't ready on this level. I'm not going to sit here and say this guy's a sellout. People could say he sold out a long time ago. That's how a lot of people feel that he's done.
I don't know how he sold out a long time ago, but
a lot of people feel that he has. But I'm not gonna go all down that track on him. But anyway, go ahead.
Well, two things. One, in terms of him, look, I don't think that any of us would consider Dr. Claude Anderson a guy that I know Ice Cube has been really, really consulting heavily. In the run-up of all of this, he's been consulting him heavily. And I don't think none of us would consider Dr. Claude Anderson a political novice. Now, because he's been getting a lot of whispers, he's been getting a lot of advice from him and others who are intellectuals, who are very deep into, who know the political ins and outs of this nation. So I just can't say that. Now, yes, he is a political novice because he's been a rapper his whole career. For me, the biggest indictment on black politicians is the fact that a political novice who was a rapper had to be the one to come out and with a plan like this. Yes, is it perfect? No, it's not perfect or anything like that. It's not perfect, and
it's not his plan. There's a lot of this stuff is out here already. It's not his plan. That's why people are saying this guy was out here hunting.
You're right. Maybe semantics, but the point that I'm making is that the black politicians they weren't doing it, and just like he said, since the '60s, none of our black politicians have been doing it. They've been getting votes and getting paid. They haven't done this. They have not come out with a plan that is specifically for black people. They have not done that.
I have to agree with you because you haven't looked at the CDC, the Congressional Black Caucus's plan. You haven't seen it. You're not really.
You fear the Congressional Black Caucus, who have done yeoman's work to push for all kinds of plans for Hispanics, white women, and everything. But when it comes to black folks, it has to be, as Dr. Clark has to say, broad and ambiguous.
Well, I'm not going to fully agree with what you're saying there, because I don't think you've looked, in depth at what these guys have looked at. And I'm not sitting here to try to argue this point here, but that is, what you're saying. I would thoroughly I would disagree with a great degree of what you're saying, and I would say, quite frankly, that there have been people out here from them who have pushed very hard in Congress.
Okay. Give them some names, Nagone. You got Ron Dellums, John Conyers. Go ahead.
Yeah. You can spot John Conyers. You have what's the Congress?
Maxine Waters.
John Conyers pushed for bills that would specifically benefit
from New
black
York.
people and black people only, or was it just
Yeah, reparations. He pushed for reparations. He was the main guy that kept pushing reparations.
And listen, we have a lot who push, but it's not even so much the names, because I don't want to necessarily get so much into that. This one thing I want to say: this plan is not new, and there are a lot of us who seem not to fully understand it. I'm trying to say that there have been organizations that have been pushing for this for a while. When you look at Congress, you look at who's in the you look at Congress, where we are in the Congress, who's in control of it, who can sit down and determine, what is going to get passed and what isn't. There's been a lot of resistance to black people, in Congress, man. For
with all due respect, they're resistant. You push it any goddamn way. So is it okay? You push it, you lose. Okay, but keep pushing it. Just don't go silent and say, "Well, they're not going to do it. They're not going to push it for us anyway. They're not going to do it. So why fight for it?" I mean, these people have been getting in office since the damn '60s, and that ain't even fucking fighting.
I didn't hear you, brother. I'm sorry. I got a bad connection. I apologize. You want to say that again? I'm sorry.
Well, it could be me. I could be Borgen. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah,
you're a little choppy, brother. Perfect Black.
Okay, I apologize. I may have to come down. I may have to log off and log back on. But from the way I see it, man, it's just they don't even push for our agenda. They don't. They push for everybody else's agenda. We have greased the skids for everybody else to come to the United States and benefit, but not us. And not only that, they don't even bitch about it when we're not the ones benefiting from it.
I think that we've pushed a lot of legislation that has really tried to help Black America, but a lot of our legislation, a lot of what we do hasn't really, Elijah Cummings and these guys who were there before, who was supposed to be down, and I don't think that they pushed hard enough. They wanted to kind of, get their tenure and then get their committees where they would, then try to be more effective. And then they died. Some of these guys, didn't come through, and Clyburn and these guys have tried to push quite a bit, but they haven't had the. I would have to say they haven't had a lot of other support for Congress to support these issues. So that's why when we say on a grassroots level, you want to make sure you have more people running, more people getting into Congress that are going to push your level, that are going to push your interest, because this, at the end of the day, is a power game. It comes down to power. It comes down to, do you have the votes and the seats in Congress to push through your legislation? Do you have that? Do you have that power? Do you have those people in place? And that's where we're short. Now, there's been a lot of things that have gone on to keep a lot of this from happening. Gerrymandering a lot of seats, keeping, Republicans who have had power have, when I say gerrymandered, they've taken seats that where you could have a greater degree of representation. You've been drawn out of that. So they're redrawing a lot of that for the 2020 after, reapportionment that's going to be coming down in 2021 and, being enacted in 2022 when they start redrawing a lot of these seats and redistricting. So redistricting is going to be a big thing. That should play a little bit more in our favor. That's why the Republicans are getting uptight and getting shaky about some of the stuff they're going to have to do. We're going to have to re-anneal the party because some very heavy things are coming about with respect to how the seats of Congress are going to look.
And you honestly think that the Democrats are really going to play that? Do you think they're going to be that hard-nosed? Because they've never, at least not in my lifetime, they don't play ruthless politics like the Republicans do. When the Republicans get office, they don't, rules and all that shit be damn. The Republicans, they stole two SCOTUS seats. Do you honestly think that the Democrats are going to have the balls to answer that? And
Yeah, well,
likewise,
they're going to have to, because as the numbers come down,
but
as they start
what
changing.
evidence is it there to show you that they will?
Let me finish. I just want to answer your question. As the numbers come down and they have to start to reapportion the districts as per the 2020 census, there is going to be some change here, and that's what the Republicans are very uptight about, and that's what the Democrats. And if you're Nancy Pelosi and I'm talking about, we're going to start changing some of this shit up. This shit's getting ready to change. So,
Okay, let me
so therefore, we should be looking at more seats that should be more favorable towards us. But this is a raw power game, though. Don't get it twisted. This is raw power here.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question, and I'm serious when I ask it. If the Democrats win the White House and the Senate, do you think that they will expand the court?
Do I think they will expand the court? I don't know if they will. I don't know if they will. There are a lot of
that's what I'm talking about, because if the Republicans were in the reverse position, they will expand that goddamn court.
Well, they took a chance because they had so you have to understand it. The Republicans think that they're going to lose, so they felt that if they sat back and waited after the election, this guy may not be here, and they probably won't be able to seat this person. So they want to have a bit of a more conservative court, okay, to play more in their favor. So they made sure they ran this person through because they had the power.
Well, I see that logic. I see that logic, but again,
the Democrats are going to be able to do.
I see the logic what you're saying, but I'm saying that when the Republicans have power in anything, the Senate, it doesn't matter if they have a president. When they have power, they exercise it most ruthlessly. Again, they stole a Senate seat from Barack Obama, and they did nothing. And they just stole another one, and they didn't. And the Democrats are not going to do anything.
Well, that's what you're saying, but I don't necessarily know that will be the case. We'll have to see. That might be the case. When Barack came in, they had the Senate and they had the Congress. They pushed through the ACA. That went through. Okay. The Affordable Care Act, Obamacare, they were able to do that based on the fact that they did have, the power and the numbers to pull it off. After that, Congress flipped. The T.P.O.T, all these guys went ham, and the Democrats, in my view, did not stay unified, and they were shook by the black president as well. And there were some political issues. There were some problems, of which they've been underneath ridiculous Republican kind of control, and they've seen just how fucked up this shit has been. So now they're gonna probably turn around, and I do think that they may stack the courts a little bit, because Biden was definitely nervous in answering that question. So they're definitely looking to do this. And I know Pelosi and them are probably going to do this as well, but they don't want to lead their hand off right now. They don't want to show their hand. But I believe when the Dems get back in there, if they do flip this thing around, they're going to be playing hard power politics. Just like
I don't think that they will. Because a lot of people are saying that.
That's what I think. You're saying you don't think
they will. No, I don't. Because a lot of people were saying the same thing when they stole the Senate, when they stole the SCOTUS seat from Barack Obama. A lot of people were saying that there's going to be some prices to pay for this. It wasn't no goddamn prices to pay for it. What's going to happen is even if they do get the presidency and the Senate, there's going to be a lot of Democrats saying, no, we don't want to do this now because we don't want a backlash. You mark my words. I'm not a betting man. I don't gamble. But if I was, I would bet a year's worth of rent money. I would bet a year's worth of rent money that the Democrats do nothing.
Well,
that's you guys. Go ahead.
You see my sign you see my avatar. I think they just played good cop, bad cop, in my opinion. I think they work together. I never thought that they were in true opposition. You might have a few, but I think some people just take their turn and let the other people take the spotlight, and while other people plan and do things in the background. Always saw that.
Yeah. Well, at the end of the day, the Democrats and Republicans. I was talking with Brother X earlier today. They eat out of the same trough. if you see who's financing and who's playing, just like right now, you look at, Biden right now, he's getting a lot of Republican money. He's getting very much cross-endorsed under the table. So he's got a lot of Republicans on his side. A lot of Republicans are giving him a lot of money. And they're playing this game a certain way right now. But that is going to play to their advantage as they want to rebuild the Republican Party, literally underneath Biden. Not that he's going to be heading up the party, anything, nothing like that. But meaning that Biden will be in there, and they will be able to rebuild their party in the way that they want to rebuild it, as opposed to having this cultist game that's being played right now by the Trump crew and how they've kind of hijacked the party. They kind of want to get these guys out of here. So they want to get kind of fundamental kind of Republican politics the way that they want to play it from a party perspective. That means moving more center right, being centrist instead of being extreme right wing, center right, because they understand. I keep saying this, and guys are not really digging this, but there's going to be changes with respect to the 2020 census, which is going to change the demographics, and the party's going to have to, if they're going to survive, they're going to have to be able to move and shift to the changing demographics, and that's what these guys understand. So they're looking at this thing a bit more long term, and they're looking at kind of Trump way, but Biden is getting a lot of Republican money right now.
I got a burning question. I'm sorry, Nicole. I have a burning question because of what you just said. Why why do you suppose? Here's the reason why I call Biden a Dixiecrat, and I just could not get my vote to him. Why do you suppose that the Republicans actually feel that they can rebuild their party with a supposed Democrat in office?
Well, you have to understand, Biden is center right. Biden is not center left. He's center right. Okay,
if that's the case, then why is he talking about LGBT a lot?
If you looked at it, because it's politically,
because LGBT is mostly white, and he doesn't have to worry about. Remember now, Biden's biggest hero is a car carrying Klansman. Let's not forget that.
That's why he's center right.
Biden is center right. If you take a look at his, he's been in Congress a very long. He's been in the Senate, a very long time. And when he was first in there, he was dealing with the Dixiecrats and dealing with the very, dealing with, the hardcore, as I said, the Dixiecrats of the South to get things done, because that's what he kind of had to do. Much of his, plan and his background, and a lot of his, how would I say, a lot of the legislation that he was involved with, and he was very center right leaning. So,
but then isn't that what I would say it was very right wing because.
Hang on a second, fam. Hang on a second. It's also why Obama chose him, because he thought for the Senate, that he was going to need someone who was going to have those connections, in the Senate, where he could pull in those more right wing type guys of the Democratic Party to help him, forge his alliances, as well as with the Republicans. That's why he chose him, because he was a
Lyndon B. Johnson of that time.
I wouldn't say it was Lyndon B. Johnson. Lyndon B. Johnson.
for the Obamas, for the fact that remember they picked Lyndon B. Johnson because he definitely had the biggest redneck following.
He did. He had a lot of power in the South. He carried a lot of power in the South as well. LBJ was he was a congressman and then became a senator. He was a pretty powerful, very influential senator during that time, and he had a lot of people's ears from the right and then the Republicans as well. So he was able to came in and was a Dixiecrat, but came up there and then decided to go behind a lot of really help black people, is what he considered to try to help black people a lot with his war on poverty bill, the Voting Rights Act of '65, and all of that. He was down with all that. So and people.
Let me ask you this, Nagone. Let me ask you this. This is a very important question. Since this whole political debasement, or not debate, but discussions have been going on, I've been on a lot of panels. I listened to a lot of lives. I never heard any brother say anything positive about Biden, period. Right? Nothing. I don't. If anybody correct me, if you heard anybody else, let me know. But I haven't heard anybody say anything good about Biden. So the thing is, if that's the case, how do you make your decision on who to vote for if you can't really say anything good about either side?
Well, my thing is this. All right, my thing is this. Right now, Biden, he's got to play. He's got to play Democratic politics. He's got to play it. Okay, you black man. As you see how they're trying to play it right now, these guys will. They push the black female and all that, but they're seeing at this stage of the game, can't fucking. They're gonna win this shit. They gonna need brothers to play. They're gonna need brothers to play. You got to understand, we are we are in the mix, and we're gonna have some say not only in this election but the next ones coming up. Brothers are gonna be a big part of this game. You see how the Republicans are just trying to Jimmy brothers off to just to shut the vote down a little bit because they the whole platinum plan and all this kind of stuff, all the stuff that came out here was really to kind of move you out from the Democratic Party, and they saw the schism between the black men and black women and how there's an issue there, and your vote, since 2 million of us didn't come out the last time, and that's what gave the Republicans their victory, if you will. Now they see you coming out en masse and coming out as a group. They know they're finished. They know they're done if you come out against them like that. So they got to try to break that up. So that's how strong your vote really is. That's the power we have. We have to understand that. That's why black people should be looking at this as an opportunity, really, to galvanize ourselves as a power base to really influence both parties, because that's all these guys are doing. They're trying to play to you. They're trying to play to you.
Well, elections matter, man. Elections matter.
Elections are.
I mean, the makeup of the court. I mean, all that shit is due to who the president is at any particular time. But the reason why I have this picture up here of these Supreme Court justices, I'm gonna show y'all.
There should have been an echo. You should have said it with an echo.
I'm gonna give you Don't worry, I'm about to get another mic that does all that. But like if y'all looking here, now we know that RBG, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, is dead. All right. She's gone. All right. So she's not there anymore. So now they have this lady, right? Let me see.
The lady that don't use shampoo? Yeah, I'm joking. Go ahead. That hair is frizzy as hell for all that money.
Goddamn art, boy. You are.
Look like somebody from the 80s enough. No, I'm just messing
with you.
Like
so we got this lady. She's in there now, right? Let me see if I can do this. All right. We got her.
But she got two little black kids also.
Yeah, that was a chess move. That was a chess move for real.
Yeah, she got a couple Negroes on the team. She got a couple Negroes on the team. She got a couple Negroes on the team.
That shut everybody up.
We put her in here, right? So she's there. I know it looks a little cheesy, but that's basically what's happening here. She's here now, right? So I predict that these two guys will be retiring soon.
How old is Clarence? And he's in the 70s, right?
Clarence said he's staying there till he's at least about 83. So
he's out. He's out. So now, if Biden becomes president, he fills in these two spots. So it goes right to
a black woman. One is going to be a black woman.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. He's putting a black woman in there. So if one of them retire, it goes back to 5-4. If both of them retire, it's 5-4 Democrats' way. So, I mean, the fact that they stuck this lady in here now and it's 6-3 now doesn't mean that much, because I think one of these justices are going to retire, and it's going to be somebody from the right, because the justices that were appointed by Democrats are fairly young, right? These are them, are they not?
Yeah,
these are our three.
Women.
These are our 3 Democratic appointees here, correct? All those were appointed by Democrats. These people here were all appointed by Republicans. You got your Chief Justice here. You got Kavanaugh. You got this lady and what's his name? I forgot his damn name. Oh, bastard. But he's not going. Gorsuch. He's not going anywhere. These are the 3 people appointed by Democrats. So if these 2 guys leave, right? Of course they're there now. But if this guy leaves, because I predict Clarence Thomas retiring soon. He's going to leave soon. So he's going.
I want to know how old he is, though.
He's going to be gone. And that space is going to be filled. And it's going to be filled by a Democratic president. So it'll be 5-4 once again. I'm telling you. That's just my predictions. That's all. That's just my predictions, y'all. That's just my predictions.
That's certainly fair enough.
Neil Gorsuch was not.
Getting organized. We should be getting organized.
Neil Gorsuch was not appointed by a Democratic president.
No. Gorsuch was appointed by
He was appointed by
Trump. Yeah, he was appointed by Trump. Yeah, and actually kind of went against him on the on some of these anti-voting decisions that they've got. So it's kind of shocking. So it's kind of let me know that these guys are going to try to play it straight.
I don't think Clarence Thomas is going to retire during the Democratic administration. I don't see that happening.
Well,
I don't see that happening. I don't. That's wishful thinking. That's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen.
We'll see. Well, the interesting thing, and I'm really watching to see is what are they going to do? In the next 2 weeks with the ACA.
But I got a question for you, Nagon, before it escapes me. I do have a question for you because you was saying about Kamala Harris and the Dixiecrat and the black male vote, the importance of the black male vote, which I don't disagree with. I think it is. I think it's very, very important. But given that you got one person who spent a very good portion of his political career passing and writing and passing legislation that was particularly damaging against black men, and you got as his running mate who spent an entire career enforcing laws that were pretty much not only just some of his legislation and putting innocent black men in prison and don't want to release them. What is the benefit of black men voting for that kind of destructive ticket? What's in it for black men to put those 2 people in power, given their political and professional record?
Well, this is the question.
Why shouldn't I keep my vote local? I kept my vote local, by the way. But why shouldn't black men keep their vote local, given that kind of ticket?
Well, you should always vote local, but I
kept the vote local. I didn't vote in the national.
Okay, go ahead. Okay. Now, I believe that we all should vote local. That's very important. We all should understand that. From the presidential level, you asking that question. Well, what should we do? Well, now you have a very powerful vote.
No. I was asking what incentive, what's in it for black men to vote for that type of ticket, given their history?
Well, this is my view. Do you feel? And this is a question that I would have to say. Do you feel that you have a great interest with Trump and the Republican Party? Do you feel, as they are right now, do you feel you have huge interest with them? Do you feel that? And that's just the question I'm asking you.
Like I said, there's a reason why I kept my vote local, and I didn't hear anything for black folks. But again, I have to go back to the case. This is one of the problems that I have with the Democrats, with the Democrats, especially the powers that be in the Democrats. They are really good at force feeding bad candidates down their constituency's throat.
again, I have
Okay.
to ask, what is in it?
Then what do you
since
do about
black-
it? Then what
okay.
do you do about it? What do you do about that?
Okay, like that didn't answer my question. What
Well,
is in it for black men? What does this ticket, given their political and professional history, what does this ticket do for black men, considering how destructive they have been for black male lives? Why should black men vote for this ticket?
My view is okay. Now, let's say something, because I'm not going to talk about Kamala Harris at this very second.
I'm talking about both of their political and professional history. That's what I'm talking about.
Biden, he was Barack Obama's VP, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you feel that, when he was in there with Barack Obama as his VP and pushed certain kind of legislation that they felt was somewhat beneficial towards us? Because I think the ACA was definitely beneficial. I actually use it, and it was definitely beneficial for me. But I will say, do you think that was beneficial? Now, I did see Biden sit back like Clinton and them, and many in the Congressional Black Caucus as well, apologize for the '94 crime bill. Okay, so he did that. All right, the legislation that you're talking about that he was very negative on, of which I would agree, we also saw come from many in the Congressional Black Caucus as well, which is kind of horrible. It's kind of embarrassing for us to say this, but damn, that was there too. So, he wasn't just putting forth legislation that was bad against us. Some of our own did that out of the Congressional Black Caucus. Cummings, Clyburn, and these guys that are sitting out there currently right now supported it. So you have to ask yourself that question too. So my view, very simply, is it goes back to how do you utilize
Clyburn is not running for president.
your political power as a group now to pressure not only the Democrat but the Republican Party to move towards your interests. This is a power politics game. So it's not a question about sitting back and laying back and talking about what are you going. You should be nice to me. It's you're organized. You are organized as a political voting bloc. You make demands, and that's where we're at right now, guy. That's ultimately where we're at. This is not about he did this to me, did this to me. You have to now grow up, get grab your nutsacks and sit down and say, listen, we're grown ass men. We are a group, and we're going to vote a certain way, and this is how we are organized, and we're going to move our vote certain types of ways. Either you don't fuck with us the way if you don't fuck with us the way we want to, then we can't fuck with you. We'll go elsewhere. And these guys understand that. They know that our vote is very important at this stage. They know this is very clear here, right? So now
I think Biden's going to win. I think Biden's going to win.
What evidence is out there? What have they done or said that'll make us believe that is evidence that they understand that now? What you just and again, it still doesn't answer my question as to why should black men vote for this ticket given their history?
Well, like I said, if you want to say that, then there's no reason. Say no reason to vote for them. None. Okay.
Okay.
No
okay. If they have.
Okay. No reason to vote for them. If that's the kind of answer you're looking for, no reason to vote for them.
No,
okay?
When I asked the question, I was actually sincerely hoping for an answer, a real answer, because I wasn't answering. That wasn't a rhetorical question.
No, it's not a rhetorical question. It's not a rhetorical question because see, I understand power politics. I understand it. And my view is
we've been giving them power politics for the longest time, but they haven't given us shit.
But let me ask a middle ground question. Let me ask.
Go ahead.
Let me ask a middle ground question, because I have these conversations with people on both sides. I'm real close with brothers and sisters in these different political arenas, and have very meaningful and very productive conversations regardless of what political leanings they have. But the conversation that we don't have enough of is, okay, we talk about Kamala Harris, all of the stuff that she did, Biden with all the stuff that he did or whatever. But even when we do that, does that just let Republicans off the hook with their record that they did to black folks over the years since Reagan?
No,
I mean,
no,
I
no.
mean,
Which is the reason. Which
to
is the
me, that's the
reason why I
bottom
said
line.
I didn't vote for him. I
If
ain't
you
just
want to
on my
go to the
vote.
Republican side, this is the real thing. You want to go to the Republican side, go ahead, because there are black men that are trailing off from this and are going over there. Okay, okay, you got guys, you got this guy talking white supremacy and all this other kind of crap like that, and you have these Negroes who are running over there. Okay, to go fuck with that. Okay, go ahead. If you think you're going to get something from those guys who have shown that they're not looking really to do much for you either. But if you're just gonna go over there and
So that's the reason why. That's the reason why I said I keep my vote local. Because if our conditions is not going to change,
I
whether
just
or not
want to finish my
we're
brother.
not going to put either one in the office, then why vote for either? Why not just keep my vote local, where I know my vote is actually going to do something?
Okay, your vote does something when you vote in blocks. When you vote in very strong, powerful blocks, your vote does something. It does a lot.
Yeah, and we've been voting for the
What I'm trying to
Democratic
tell you
in mass,
is
and that hasn't
you
done anything.
have to be
We've been
able
getting used.
to hold on a second, man. Come on, dog. Now you have to, because I'm talking power politics here, to understand what we're talking about. And if you don't gain this in your head, then don't fuck with it. But if you're gonna really want to fuck with this game, and we're gonna talk about this thing for real, you're going to have to galvanize your numbers and your political strength and make demands. That's the deal. That's what all these other groups do. I don't know why we argue about this. It's ridiculous. Okay, because I sit down and I look at the gays and the LGBTQ and all that, and they sit down as a organized group, put their numbers together, and they make fucking demands, and they get hurt. Okay, just like the gays wanted gay marriage, they sat down as a group, as a organized group, as a fist. Bang! They made demands and they got what they had to get. When you look at Jews and these other groups out here, they move as a group. They move as a group with their common interest. If you don't understand that and can't comprehend that level of power politics, go on and go sit down. Go sit down somewhere. Because I'm talking about moving as a common interest group. A group with numbers that we can say, I can deliver X, Y, and Z numbers of guys. We can put together X, Y, Z number of dollars. It doesn't have to be huge money, but you can put together X, Y, Z numbers, and this is how we're going to move, and this is what we want. We want A, B, C, and D. Okay, we better at least get A and B. C and D we can talk about. We better be getting A and B, or our vote we are not going to show. And that's what happened with Hillary and all them, and that's why she lost. All right. If this happens this time around, and you come in the Joe, now you have, now you can sit down as a group, as an organized group, and sit down and say, this is what we need to do. LGBTQ and all the A, B, C, D, E, F, G jammies. That's what they do. That's what you got to do. If
I'm glad you brought
see
that up.
Then you out. Then you out.
I'm glad you brought that up, because it seems like, and I think a lot of brothers express this, including you, Nagone. It seems like that whole BLM, LBG, whatever they are, feminists. It seemed like they just took up all the political capital in the left, to where there's no space for black male agenda.
They move as a group. They're solidified. They move as a group, and they have numbers. And they move.
So, is there any room for a black male agenda with them being there?
The black
not really. They suck all the oxygen out of the damn room, and they're the ones who get pandered to the most.
That's why you have to organize as a group. That's what we've been talking about in the Black Brain Trust for a good while and all that. You have to politically organize as a group. As a group, as an interest group. Black women are an interest group. When they sat down and they took Ice Cube, what's in it for our planet? Ice Cube, this is all for everybody. I'm putting you bitches.
Does it matter on the size? Does it matter on the size of the group?
Of course, size of a group. If you're coming in there with millions of votes, 5 million, 3 million, those millions turn the tides of elections. Period. End of story. Especially in close ones, you become a swing vote.
Do we have enough black men to turn that over, though, with all those other people already in place?
Of course you do. Of course we do. Of course we do. Why do you think the Republicans are sitting down here saying they're trying to pull you away to get you from voting as a solid group in Black America? They're trying to siphon you off. All right, and the Democratic Party is sitting here now, running around here now, 12th hour, trying to make sure that they keep black men in the fucking in the fold, because they know if black men break out of camp, it's over. They'll lose. Black men break out or don't vote, they know they can lose this that way. That's how powerful your fucking vote is. Just take a look at what's going on. That's why you have to organize. Just like black women who just sit back all day long and say, we're the ones holding it down. They ain't holding shit down. They hold shit down for themselves. They ain't holding shit down for you. But what they do is they vote in blocks. They do vote a lot, and they get a lot of what they want. That's how that goes. That's the game we have to play, and that's the political maturity that the black man has to come to. Well, what's my interest? Oh, why am I going to vote? You sound think like that, you ain't gonna get shit. You may as well you may as well sit on a butt plug, okay? At the end of the day, because that's all that's gonna be laying there for you. But if you sit back and organized group of black men who vote in very large numbers as a group, that is what they're afraid of. That's what they're terrified of you doing, because they know how powerful that will be, and people will follow along with you on that. That's what they don't want you to do. That's what we have to do.
I don't care who you vote for. Just get your black ass out there and vote.
Get your booty to the polls.
Yeah, if you're not going to vote, I don't want to hear you up here complaining about politics, man. I can't listen to you. I cannot listen to you complain about politics, and in your next breath you're like, I didn't vote. Well, what are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Okay, the question is, are you registered to vote? Is everybody here registered to vote?
I already voted.
I've been registered. I'm going to vote today.
I voted in the early voting as soon as it started. It started on the 19th. Me and my wife went down there the first day it started. And guess what? It wasn't a lot of people. It wasn't crowded. I was only down there for like an hour. So I beat the rush.
We got voting here in New York, and I'm going to come in. I'm going to, the polls open actually. They're open all this weekend as well. So I'm going to go in at 6 o'clock Sunday morning when everybody else is, doing.
I had to, man. Because last election, we went election day, man, and it was a freaking zoo. The goddamn line was a mile long, and I wasn't trying to go through that shit. I went down there the 19th. We were in and out in like an hour. So
people are recognizing black men as a political force. That's why they are recognizing us as that. So my deal is, if you want to lay back and chill out and complain about he didn't do this, he didn't do me right, fuck that. You better step back, organize, okay? Because it's easy to organize and vote, and we need to vote in a powerful block and make demands. Just like Cube walking up there, however he did it, even though politically unsophisticated how we did, he said we want to make demands. Now, if you have a political organization and a cube like a figure out front saying, I can deliver 5 million votes and I can deliver XYZ number of dollars, and this is what we want, X, Y, and Z. What's up? Who's playing? Either the Democrats, Republicans. Oh shit! This is what he can deliver 5 million. What the? All right, this is a fucking problem. We're gonna have to deal with this guy. We're gonna have to accede to these demands because it's gonna be a close race.
Yep. I talked about this earlier in the stream. Same exact shit. Same exact shit. I talked about the same stuff, Brother Nagone, earlier in the stream. This is the things that are gonna make a difference, man.
That's what we have to do. It's political sophistication. Black women are already there. They're already there. And they talking shit, talking about we holding it down. These motherfuckers. All right. So your job is to do that. And if you want to sit back and say, well, I don't want to do this, she ain't done right for me and he ain't done right for me and they ain't done right for me. And what's my interest? Why am I gonna go out here? You's a sucker. Your ass better sit back here and really develop a fist. Take them 5 fingers, roll them shits up real tight. You can run that shit through a fucking wall. run that shit through a fucking wall. Run that shit through a fucking wall. Tight, smaller, but tight, dense, hits fucking hard, snaps bone. That's how you gotta be thinking, like a fucking fist to hit and hit hard. And that's the game we gotta play. You ain't playing that game, get the fuck on up out of here. Because you're wasting time. That's the reality.
I think it would be nice. I think it would be nice to have some politicians in our pockets as black men. I think that'd be a good thing.
It'd be a great thing. And then people got to come to you. Because when you start moving like that in your group of men, and everybody starts taking notice. And then people start falling in fucking line. You understand how that works. But a lot of us are not thinking this way. Like, oh, he hasn't done this for me. He ain't done this for me. Make him do something for you. You ever see somebody who ever comes out in front of you and they start acting funky, and then next thing you know, you got to get up in their ass a little bit to straighten them out? That's how that works. That's what we're dealing with. This is power politics. If you're not talking about playing power politics, then get up out of here. Don't say nothing. Get out of the game. Don't fuck with it. That's the game that we got to play. That's the only game in town. That's it. You really don't have a choice. And people are expecting you to do this. The Republicans see it. Trump and them, they see it. Right? Biden sees it. It's like, oh shit, man. We can't sit back. We got to incorporate these brothers in here, man. This is the shit. This is not. This may not carry us all the way through. This is serious shit. This is serious shit.
This ain't working.
Yeah, this is serious shit.
Not working.
Brothers have to be thinking seriously politically here. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm about to wrap this up in a few, but before I do, I want to focus y'all attention on this here Tuesday night as we talk about this 2020 election coming up. We will be covering it here on the T.P.O.T YouTube page. I got a bunch of brothers coming through. Brother Nagone will be coming through. Brother Perfect Black as well. And we're going to have quite a few brothers coming through, man. We're going to have updates on the presidential election, of course. And we're going to be hearing stories from other places. And I invite everybody to talk about the local races that are going on in their neck of the woods. Feel free to come through, share the story, come up on the panel also so we can know what's going on in your part of town along with the presidential election. We're going to be doing some politics Tuesday night. It's a Tuesday night special. We usually don't throw down on Tuesdays, but we will be covering the 2020 election right here on the T.P.O.T YouTube page, and you're going to see a lot of familiar names come through that particular night. So make sure you have your black behinds here so we can see what's going on, and I plan on covering it to the end, at least till the end of that night. All right. So we're going to be right in. We're going to start about 9:00. We're going to, like I said, we'll be updating the results. I'll be showing y'all the results from the politicians here. And once again, I invite you to share the stories of the local politicians where you are, if you feel like it. If not, the hell with you. But make sure you're here Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on the T.P.O.T YouTube page. You freaking know. And also, tomorrow night, we throw down with a co-ed debate. Yeah, the Hour Power debates are on Friday night. And Brother J.I. will be squaring off with Lady Bap. Yeah, our first head-to-head co-ed debate. And y'all know what it's over, the infamous petition. So make sure you're here tomorrow, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on the T.P.O.T YouTube page. And, of course, big Saturday show. Obsidian will be in the house, and we will be continuing another installment of Obsidian versus the World. That starts at 8 p.m. Eastern Time right here. Y'all already know how it goes. Brother Obsidian comes in, and he's willing to take on 4 folks at once. But the Obsidian versus the World rules will be in full effect. So if you're not willing to abide by those particular rules, don't even waste your time, because you already know the rules are absolute. You go against any of them, I throw you out. Yeah, that's how it goes. I throw you right out. But the rules also go for Brother Obsidian as well. If he breaks them, he gets a loss as well. All right? Y'all already know what it is. So make sure you hear Saturday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on the T.P.O.T YouTube page. You freaking know. We about to wrap this up, fellas. We had Brother Haywood up here. He dropped off. Final thoughts.
Well, I'm glad.
Shot, brothers.
I'm glad you're doing the night shift because I'm doing it in the morning on that voter registration or voters of election day or whatever.
Okay.
So I think Afro Synergy is coming up and a couple of other people. So we're gonna have like a balanced discussion because, man, these dudes that be on YouTube that be representing the right. Wow. So I'm trying to get some boy. You know what I'm talking about, Nicole.
I'm gonna have a few Republicans and conservatives come through as well. You know, it's gonna be one of those things. Everybody's voice will get heard that night. Everybody's voice will get heard.
I'm gonna say this about the Republican and Democrat and all that. To me, we should be voting, and this is what we talk about. This is very common interest. I was raised ethnic politics supersedes party labels. So therefore, your ethnic political, game is where this thing really is at. Our common interest. What is most important to brothers? What are we really looking at that we see that's most important more than anything else? And you can pretty much galvanize, your ideas and interests around that. You can be on the Republican side of the fence or the Democratic side of the fence. It comes down to common interests, and that's what we should be pretty much gathering our strength and energy around. Not so much one political party, because one political party may be good for a period, then it may not be good for you. You may have to go elsewhere. So it comes down to interests. Who's going to follow your interests, and that's a lot of that's going to be upon us and us being organized as a group to play that type of game. It's not so much he hadn't done this for me, and you don't like me. Fuck that. I don't like him. Or better yet, I don't give a fuck what he thinks, but he better do what I want because I got the votes to either put him in or take my votes out where he'll lose. The minute they start thinking they're going to lose, they want to come to you. All right. That's why the president, Trump and all that, he can talk about the Proud Boys and all the rest of these guys and be racist as he wants. But at the end of the day, he realizes black people are a key part of this process, and he's trying to get you in there. Same with the Democrats. They see they're gonna have to do this now. So and they know that the black male issue is a problem. They're gonna have to, because black men have been successful in it in letting their and letting our unease be known. You galvanize this into real political numbers, a powerful voting block, and it's game fucking over. I just hope you brothers understand that.
Yeah, what I was trying to say though, real quickly, is that I really appreciate America's Black Forum and Tony Brown journals. And when they had those left-right discussions, it was very interesting. It was something to where you may not agree with everything that either side say, but these were some intelligent brothers. They wore suit and ties. They were and then even when white folks try to come in, they gave white folks the business. And we're talking about people on the right and the left. Today, I don't know what's going on, man. That's why I'm gonna bring in some older conservative brothers in so they can school some of these younger dudes, because I don't like the whole yelling and I'm like, dude, that's not cool.
That shit gets a little old. It gets a little old, all the yelling and screaming. That's why I've been trying to, when I have my panels here lately, man, I try not to let it get over like say 6 people, because it's like, you look up and you got 5 and 6 people yelling at one time. That's just kind of, that's just insane. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, if you got a difference in opinion, I don't have a problem with that. Y'all know everybody freaking on YouTube has been on this channel at one point or another. There's not too
Right.
many people you can name that haven't been here. All right.
Right.
And we're not all monolithic. So you can have a difference of opinion and come here and state it. But when I got 4 and 5 of y'all yelling at one time, I can't even listen to you to see if I have a difference of opinion with you or not, because I can't hear shit you're saying because I'm trying to listen to you through 4 other people. So
Yep.
it's that stuff is just kind of crazy, man. It gets a little crazy.
It does get a little crazy, but you know,
It gets a little crazy.
that's a part of what goes on here on YouTube. So you know,
Yep, that's YouTube. We've been here long enough to know that that's what it is.
Yeah. That's why I'm waiting.
Yeah.
I love I love intelligent conversation. Even if there is a disagreement, I mean, it's like, okay, well, we went around this twice, 3 times. Okay, we can move on to something else. I mean, I thought that's how it's supposed to go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
YouTube's a different creature now. It's a different creature, man. You know, so the thing now is shaping your platform. And you know, sometimes when you shape your platform, you're going to have to sacrifice your numbers. Trust me, I know. I mean, you're going to have to be willing to sacrifice your numbers and views and shit if you want to shape it to what you want it to be and get that wow element out of it. You're going to sacrifice some of your numbers in the process.
That's facts, sir. But I want to say too, first of all, exit that shit. Oh, bang, bang, hit that right in the fucking head. Beautiful. But at the self-same time, no, that was right on the money.
Yeah.
People are listening to you. People are listening to you. When you start hearing these stuff on these other forums and people on TV and stuff like that, folks are listening to you. This whole blackmail game, we've been talking this hard in the manosphere for a minute. Folks, you know, you hear the president and these guys talking about it now and getting you. People are listening to you, man. Folks are listening to you. Believe me. You think they're not? The minute you think they're not, that's when they're listening. The closest. Don't think that we're sitting here just spinning our wheel. That's why I'm saying to a lot of you brothers, think about what's going on, politically organized and moving forward. This folks are expecting this to happen, and this manosphere and so forth has been playing a role in it. People listen to this. You'd be shocked. You'd be shocked who's listening to you. That's all I gotta say. Folks are listening. That's for damn sure.
Yep. Well, parting shots. Everybody take your parting shots before we peel up out of here.
Well, as usual, appreciate you for having me up here, brother.
Always, brother.
Yeah, you know this. If you notice, I don't go on too many panels. So,
Smart man.
So if I was running for office, I would be on this panel instead of others, because others, they probably get me to lose my election. So, I mean, this is stuff that we have to look at, you know, because I think image is everything, you know.
Yeah,
so we have to really watch, like Nagone and was saying too. You got to really watch how you conduct yourself, because people are watching. And they're taking notes. They're writing down all kinds of scores and stuff that you said, you didn't say. And people keep thinking that, oh, okay, well, since I didn't see them do it, they must not be doing it. Hell, that's the way that they do it. They got to do it. So they have to do it when you're not looking. And so when you come up, they're like, okay, we got you doing this A, B, and C. You're like, damn, I don't remember that. And they're like, okay, I got you on tape. I got some stuff. I wrote all this stuff down. We got you. You trapped. So, you know, we can't get caught up in things just because nobody else listens to you in person. This is only at YouTube. This is only the internet. This stuff will come and go. You know, just try to make sure you watch what you say, because everything you say is going to represent who you are as a person. And I'm gone.
Peace, brother Art. Appreciate you, brother.
Peace, and Chow Ermao and Chow, and I'm sorry, and peace to Perfect Blackness.
Peace, brother. Peace.
All right. Anybody else?
Ciao, brother.
Next up.
Well, I'll go.
Ciao. Go ahead, man.
Yeah. Well, look, this is getting late, and I got a couple of things I need to take care of here. But thanks, brother, for having me up. Nagone, good intellectual. I won't call it a debate, but a good intellectual discussion. And and because I've had to step back from a lot of these panels as well, because I don't want to get into a lot of these shouting matches. Because I like competitive banter. I don't like a whole bunch of shouting matches, but I do understand where the shouting matches come from, because black men, we do have a lot of pent up things to say, and and the manosphere has given us an opportunity to do it. And I wrote an article over on Medium last year, and I was stating how the black manosphere is not a monolith. You got several different corners of the black manosphere, several different corners and opinions. But the good thing is that black men are raw, starting to have a voice, and it is, and people are paying attention. People who you wouldn't think that are paying attention, who are staying up at this late at night and are listening. Don't think for 1 minute, Brother X, that when you had Dr. Tia Stein Johnson on your channel, don't think for 1 minute that they're not listening to you. So they want to see who else coming up on here. They want to see, and they're going to start to kind of cascade. People start to listen because Dr. Tia Stein Johnson, he's one of the bigger ones, at least the intellectual. And the intellectual are the dangerous ones. So yeah, and I haven't. I don't want. I definitely don't want to get off into those shouting matches, but I do understand it. So look, man, it was good, man, and I'm gonna keep my powder dry about some of the politics, because like I do have my opinions on them, and they are well founded. So but I hope you're gonna be there in the Gone, because I've actually been taking some notes. So. I've been taking some little notes and some written notes. What's that?
I expect to see both of you brothers up on here Tuesday night. God damn it.
Yeah. MOT's gonna have something going down. I said I'll be on his for as well, so I'm gonna bop over, but I'm definitely
you better be bouncing back and forth, God damn it. I don't want to have to come to MOTs and drag your ass over here.
No. Brother X requested me to be there. I shall be there. So,
all right, I'm gonna drop down, man. I'm gonna take care of this. Good night, brothers. Y'all be good, man. Stay safe.
Peace. Perfect Black. I see you Tuesday night, man.
Absolutely,
Perfect
bro.
Black.
Be there Tuesday, bro.
Peace.
Be there Tuesday.
All right.
Yeah. Real solid brother right there. Super solid.
That's my brother right there, man. Perfect Black.
Yeah, and art, no style. So these are solid dudes. But anyway, that thanks for inviting me up here, man. I really
absolutely, man.
Really appreciate that.
If we don't rap again before Tuesday, man, and have your behind up over here Tuesday night, man.
I'll be there, man. I'll be there.
I don't want to have to come to MOTs and digitally drag you back, man.
All right.
My brother, man.
Man, much love, and I'll talk to you.
Peace. Yeah, folks, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. Good discussion tonight. Brother Haywood eventually showed his ass up and it was here for, I don't know, maybe 30, 40 minutes, then dropped off. That's his MO though. He'll come, he'll be late, and he'll say his shit, and then he'll leave. Drop off, or some shit will happen because he's driving or something. But what I will do though, I'm gonna go ahead and put the link to Brother Haywood's article in the Black Hat. I'm going to put that in the chat again for those of you who may want to check it out. All right. Go ahead and take a look. And like I always say, come to your own conclusions, Come to your own conclusions on this stuff, man. Whether it be Ice Cube, whether it be politics, whether it be this contract with Black America, man, come to your own conclusions, folks. Don't let other people decide it for you. Decide it for yourself. And as this ticker down here says, I don't care if you're a Republican, Democrat, liberal, conservative, independent, libertarian. What I want you to do is vote, Negroes. Just vote. I don't care who the hell you vote for. You can go and vote for Kermit the Frog if you want to. Just vote. Just be able to say, hey, I voted. I exercise my right in this political process. That's all I expect. I don't expect you to be part of any party or another. Just get your black behinds out there and vote, man. And see, I'm the type of person where I'm not going to tell you to do something that I haven't done or in the midst of doing or I'm prepared to do. I already voted. That's why I'm telling y'all to vote. I'm not going to sit up here and tell you to do some shit that my ass ain't even doing. That's stupid. That is stupid. So get your black behinds out there and vote and get the people around you to vote. And like I said earlier, if enough of us are voting, who knows? Could change some things. And I've been saying this all night. It would be nice for us brothers to have a politician or two in our pocket. I can think of worse things for black men. I can think of worse things. Can't y'all? I think it would be rather nice to have a few politicians in our pocket. Shit. Everybody else got them. Why not us? But anyway, I'm going to go ahead, man, run a couple of my commercials. And after that, we're going to peel on up out of here, man. I will see both of you, all of you, on the other side of the break.
Peace, folks. Open your mind. Wednesday, we throw down in the digital square circle on Hours of Power debates. Thursday, we get at it with DXL, Dark Exodus Live. So come through, 9:30 p.m., right here on the T.P.O.T YouTube page. You know. Open your mind. Hey guys, T.P.O.T on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. But you knew that already.
Yeah. So we're going to peel on up out of here, man. I want to thank everybody, man, for coming out tonight, man. You good people in this here chat room, man, and you good people out there for sticking around, man, hanging out with us, man, spending some time with us and watching us. I want to send a special shout out to my brother, CORY HAYWOOD. Go ahead, look up here in the chat right here. You'll see the link to his article. Like I said, read it for yourself, decide for yourself. And I also want to send a shout out to my man, brother Nagone, also brother Perfect Black, brother Art and Style. All the good brothers for coming through, man, contributing to the conversation, man. It's always good to be up here with the good brothers, just like it's always good to be up here with you good folks. So, with that, I will leave you with 3 words, you know, like I always do.
Let us open our mind. I know leadership don't need
Peace, folks. See y'all tomorrow night. We right back at it.
If we don't stop, if we parade, they celebrate. Eat caviar, drink champagne. If we parade, they celebrate. At the death of a child of a slave. Open our minds. I'll never say, remember your forefathers' tears, the lives which was lost for us to see peaceful years when China stopped moving its flag. If they parade, they celebrate. Eat caviar, drink champagne. If they parade, they celebrate. At the death of the child of a slave. Proper thought.
Open our minds.
If we don't stop,
Open our minds.
proper thought.
Open our minds.
The child of a slave. Proper thought.
Open our minds. Open our minds.
Only from the Prophet of Thought Series Media.
You know.
Open your mind. 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 Open your mind.